every... What day is it?
Tuesday?
Tuesday night! His ghost returns to wreak his horrible vengeance.
Oh, but tonight's Tuesday night.
Then he'll be coming.
We're a nation, we're a world that cheers louder when our opponent misses a shot than we are happy when we make a shot.
Lemonade, please. I made it just for you.
You get out, you would break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand.
This is so fucking cool.
It is fucking cool.
Shut the fuck up.
Nobody pays any attention to you unless you swear every other word.
Sheer fucking hubris.
An unmitigated disaster.
Let's just rubberneck through life and sit there and just go, yeah, look, they wrecked, yeah. It's gonna dim real quick and you're gonna need another fix. Someone else to put down, someone else to down thumb, someone else to comment, someone else to snide.
Begun. The streaming war has.
Say, kids, what time is that?
Tonight's Tuesday night.
It's
Oh my God.
Lucy.
Look at you.
Grogu.
Grogu is here with us. What's happening, gang?
We need your microphone.
I hear him.
You hear him? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude,
Check your ears, dude.
No, he's like, I don't hear his mic.
Grogu's?
That's okay. Don't worry about it. Maybe it's just me.
Stacy.
You're cutting in
I
and out
can
a
hear
little
you
bit.
just fine.
My house is possessed at the moment.
That's why. How's that? Is that better?
That's
That's
much
much
better.
better.
That's the voice I like to hear. That's
My
the voice
stupid
I-
audio settings are off again. We'll try
Perfect.
that again. Hey, gang. How's it going?
Pretty
Hi,
good.
Excellent.
I got rid of my my sketchy gray curtain.
We're
For a
being
sketchy
mocked
green
on
one.
comments, yo.
Yeah, for a green one. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, this is a boomer podcast.
Oh my.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
I am not
hit
a
the
boomer.
button
I'm
with
a
the-
Gen Xer, man. I am not a boomer.
Do I look
Actually,
like a
yeah,
boomer?
none of us are boomers.
We're
Yeah.
not boomers.
We're not boomers.
No
I don't
boomers here.
spontaneously.
You'd think this was our
combust.
first day every time, though. There's always something that goes wrong, no matter how prepared we are.
It's a
life.
tradition.
It's life, man. This is like a realistic version of life.
I know,
Even
right?
worse.
Even worse. Yes, I know.
So let's go around the horn real quick and introduce everyone before we get into the show. I would be Grogu Sr., your host. Next to me is the stalwart Peter Bradley.
Hello there. Coming to you live from Moe's Tavern.
Flaming Mo. You got a Flaming Mo? My name's Mo. Flaming Mo.
Gen Z.
Below me would be the effervescent Stacy Wilbur, spelled with a 3.
Yep. Fun.
And diagonally, I'm bad at this, Judah Buddha.
What's up, guys?
Hello.
We got
Almost
a
Christmas.
ton. What's that?
It's almost Christmas.
Oh, don't even
Don't.
even go there, man. Please.
I'm in the spirit. There's no lights behind me, but I'm in the spirit. I didn't put my tree up.
Before we get into, I mean, we got a lot to go to talk about. I mean, this
It's
week
been a
is
busy
just-
week.
Oh my God, these
Yeah,
headlines are piling up, and I'm like, how are we going to talk about all this stuff? I want to pimp next week's show first. Next week will be very unique, very special, and hopefully I won't have to do much talking because Jay will be here from Industrial Light and Magic, Amblin Entertainment, Mass Illusion, to talk about the days of working on blockbuster movies, which, who knows, may be going away. So we'll see about that. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you mark your calendars. Please get in the chat and ask Jay questions next week. He's got so many great stories. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I'm excited.
I can't believe it's already here. I remember when I booked him like 5 weeks ago, and it's like, it's a long way
That
off.
long? My God.
Yeah, I booked him
I'm
far enough
glad.
out. Well,
Time is marching on.
mm-hmm.
You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older. Now you're even older. And now you're older still.
Oh my.
Future events.
Yep.
So by now, this is old news. I mean, this broke 4 days ago, and 4 days ago now is an eternity. 5 days ago. Warner Brothers is apparently going to launch all of their 2021 movies, 17 release slate, including all the big ones: Matrix 4, Dune, Kong versus Godzilla, or Godzilla versus Kong, whichever way you consider it. Of course, Wonder Woman, which we already knew, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, just on and on, just about everything. So they make this stunning announcement, and I think the whole idea is this guy, Jason Kilar, who's the CEO of Warner Media, who was on our thumbnail dressed as Patrick Bateman. He came up with this idea, and he was like known for innovation in his previous work, and I think he's all in on the streaming thing. But I have to question whether or not he's done his homework economically.
Right.
Yeah, this is clearly a bid to try to get people to sign up to HBOMax. I mean, that's,
of course,
right.
It's about as transparent as my background. But
the thing about HBO Max is they always do this, and then all of a sudden, when it's over with, what they're doing, people pull out. Game of Thrones was a perfect example of that. How many subscribers did they lose that time?
Well, that goes for just about anything. I mean, I think Plus being propped up by The Mandalorian, the minute that's over, they're going to lose a lot of people too.
I mean, I have to admit, I did that with Hulu with Handmaid's Tale. But I mean, now we stuck with it. But
Yeah, Netflix is the only thing I really hold on to. But
and as we've talked about ad nauseum, you get people passing around passwords. So you get multiple users on one account. You get piracy. You get everything that comes with this kind of thing. I mean, not that you didn't get piracy in the theaters, but I just don't see this as a sustainable model.
No.
And if this is the way they're thinking of going, then you're going to see more of these television shows like The Mandalorian, like Umbrella Academy, this kind of thing, where you won't see big blockbuster movies anymore. You'll see
Dune the series as opposed to Dune the two movies.
Right.
Well, in Dune's case, it probably would be better as a series.
Yeah, true. But they'll be lower budget. They'll be small. They'll feel smaller. They'll probably use a lot of the techniques they use in The Mandalorian.
So you're saying right now,
when I watched season 1 of Mandalorian, it felt more cinematic than once I found out how they do it. Now I can see, and now it does feel smaller.
Don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Oh, it's amazing how they do it.
It's absolutely.
They don't use the green screen or a blue screen. They actually use. It almost looks like a hollow hockey puck, and it's all LED screens. And
they use gaming engines.
They build the sets in this sort of
like a donut.
Like a donut.
That's cool.
And literally what they do is once they get a set piece in there, if they want to match the background to the set pieces, the guy's on a tablet and he's literally just painting the set on a tablet and it's all changing. It's like the most amazing. It's like
they use it's all based on an algorithm.
Innovative.
Yeah.
So
I mean, as long as it looks good when you're watching it, right? I mean, that's.
It does, but
you can't notice.
Like in season 2, It was the one where they go to the Mon Calamari planet, and they pull back with the camera to show like the dock, and all the dock workers are kind of clustered in one spot, and they can only walk a certain distance, and you could tell that's where they're going to walk into the screen.
You're ruining movie magic for me, man. Like, what the
Sorry.
heck? Don't tell me this. I like to get like lost in my.
But what's good about it is the actors can now see what they're walking around in.
That's pretty cool.
Before it's just all green or blue.
Well, you had to
They're
be
just
a
walking
better
around.
actor. You had to be a better actor to pull it up. I mean, there's
And
nothing wrong with that.
they use these screens to actually light the cast.
Okay.
So they act as a accent light.
Very cool.
So, anyway, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, it's something that'll just simply blow your mind. Watch the making of videos that are, I'm sure, on Disney Plus. It's mind blowing. Just mind blowing.
Right. So the first one to fire back at this announcement was AMC, and it's it's kind of funny because it turns out, I guess, Warner Brothers made a deal. Here it is. Here they originally signed a deal with cinema chains to provide a larger cut of ticket sales, up to 60%, in a once-off agreement from Wonder Woman 1984. So now, because of the coof, and everyone's looking under their seat cushions for coins. They decided, well, if we take Wonder Woman and we just put it on our own streaming platform, we don't have to give them 60% of jack shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or we give them 60% of whatever they make, and they're not going to make crap because who's going to go, right? I mean, let's face it, this thing's going to die in the theater in 2 weeks. Come on.
But it'll probably be in
gonna
the
be
theater
out.
for a year, though, wouldn't you think?
Well, it's coming out Christmas Day in theaters, and I don't see a stampede to go see it in theaters for whatever theaters are even open. And so it's going to stream on HBOMax simultaneously for a month while it's in theaters. Then it comes off HBOMax. It's confusing, and then it goes. Meanwhile, they get international distribution starts next week in theaters, and then it becomes eligible for VOD after a certain amount of time, and then it comes back to HBOMax.
Does it? So is it going to be on video on demand in America? Like, I couldn't find that. It is, right? Yeah.
After it leaves HBO Max, but there's a certain amount of time in between too. So it's
confusing.
Very confusing. It goes back to that, and then it does this, and then it does that, and then it goes here, and then it does that, and then it goes here, and then it. Either way, but so AMC comes back with clearly Warner Media intends to sacrifice a considerable portion of the profitability of its movie studio division, and that of its production partners and filmmakers to subsidize its HBO Max startup. What you just said, Pete. Adam Aron, CEO and president of AMC Entertainment, said in a statement to Hollywood Reporter. As for AMC, we will do all in our power to ensure that Warner's does not do so at our expense. We will aggressively pursue economic terms that preserve our business. So they're saying, screw you, but okay. Kind of powerless, at least where this is concerned. But I think what benefits all these theater chains is that I think Warner assumed once they made this announcement, Disney was going to follow suit. Disney is not going to follow suit. So I think they thought other people would get on board with this idea, and they're not doing it.
Yeah, but how long before Disney is forced to make a decision? They can't sit on Black Widow forever. They can't sit on Spider-Man 3 forever.
Well, Spider-Man 3 is not done.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's a possibility it could be ready before people are ready to get back to theaters.
The only thing that Disney has in all these, except maybe HBO, is that Disney doesn't pay any licensing. So that means whatever profit they make, they make pure pocket. Netflix, believe it or not, almost goes into the hole almost every year because they're trying because they're trying to play catch up because they pay an absurd amount in licensing fees. But they say probably in the next 5 years they'll eventually get up to over their overhead and start making profit. But can you imagine every year going into the negative because you're just balancing out?
I think a lot of these places are operating on borrowed money for the most part.
Yeah.
They're moving. It's a shell game, and you're moving shells around,
right,
to ultimately make it work in the end. And a lot of the revenue comes from merchandising, cross promotions.
Oh yeah, shit
the
Mandalorian,
home video market, and all that kind of stuff. So
I'm a sucker. I've already bought my first Mandalorian toy.
So Cineworld, who owns Regal, was the next group to come back. And they said in a statement, Cineworld said the company believes that when cinemas make a comeback, Warner will look to reach an agreement about the proper window and terms that will work for both sides.
It's easy to say when you've closed every single one of your theaters. Now you're hoping, big difference between Regal and AMC.
Well, AMC, they got to find money somewhere because they said earlier this year that they could only pretty much be solvent for the rest of this year. They're in trouble, and they've already taken out loans, and so all these theaters they're operating at a loss. Big time.
Well, I can only imagine the theaters that have more than 5 screens are the ones that are going to suffer the most. Maybe mom and pop 2 theaters, but yeah, these guys are dead in the water. They got a little more lease to pay.
We'll see. At first it looked like Warner had all the leverage, but none of the other studios climbed aboard this.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think the studios just don't?
Wishful thinking.
Yeah,
I think
it's like a stock market thing.
I think eventually the idea of a big box theater will probably go away. I don't think it's going to be as overnight as they're projecting it to be right now. And I think a lot of these people understand it's symbiotic. They do need each other. Every week before COVID hit, you were checking Box Office Mojo, right? You were looking at the box office, the opening weekend. The opening weekend was always the biggest story in theater, in cinema.
Yeah, exactly. That would determine the entire financial future.
Yeah, right.
So they've always been dependent on that big opening week, specifically that opening weekend. You take that away, and it's this whole dog chasing its tail kind of thing to me, because I don't know how you make a $200 million movie when you can't make $200 million. But what's $14 a month times 8 million?
I know, but I don't. People want to get the hell out of their house, especially after this is all over and people are staying home. And great, we have Netflix and Hulu and all these things, but people, I believe people are going to be I want to go out. I want to get out of my house.
Yeah, I agree.
If they can hold on, I think the market. I think it's there for that.
I agree.
I think
in the market.
I think what they really need to do is maybe combine something where you get more for what you get than just going to a movie. People are going to go to restaurants first, then they're going to go to see a movie.
But after the same day, though, it's not
Right.
one. Yeah. Those kind of things go together. We do Friday night date night. You go to a dinner and a movie.
Right.
What you do with your kids. They go to the park, you go to the movies.
As we've already been called tonight, we're boomers, and we're
Gen Xers. We're Gen Xers.
I could put my mom on the show if you want, but
no, we're used to the theater experience. We have a certain expectation of what's going to happen when a film is released. And you're right, Stacy. These movies, just a little over a year ago, Avengers Endgame broke all kinds of records, right? And so you're telling me that because of the current predicament with a virus, that's going to stop cold? I don't see that happening.
I don't either.
Well,
that movie made over $2 billion for a reason, and it wasn't even that good of a movie. So
and watching it on the big screen compared to your 50-inch screen TV is not the same experience.
No,
not even close. Not even close. And I think multi-generations see that. It's not just a one generation thing. It's not just, I think everyone recognizes that that's the case.
Well, you and I went to see Citizen Kane just last week. And we'd both seen it before on television or home video or whatnot. But when you see it on a big screen, it was such a different experience from the first frame, just being pulled into that world.
Absolutely.
My whole opinion of the film changed radically after seeing it up there on the big screen.
Absolutely.
I mean, I always knew like it was ahead of its time, and Orson Welles was just completely innovative, and all those things were fine. But when you see those frame compositions and the camera movements and everything he did, there was something about it, and you felt the same way. I know.
Absolutely, the impact of just experiencing that in that format is you can't even compare it to.
Well, it's also a cinematographer's masterpiece. Every shot in the movie.
But that's what we're saying. But when you're watching it,
so
when you watch it at home,
right?
Superhero movies, I feel the same way about. Like nothing. Like I watch Iron Man on my TV, and I like it, and it's good. But when you sit there and you're waiting for that to come on, the feeling. I mean, maybe other people don't feel that way about superhero movies, but it's like it's more like it like hits all your senses. It's like amazing.
Exactly.
I do have an idea of how to get people to buy movie tickets.
Okay.
I hear it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sure.
I'm telling you, spoilers online. People will go to a movie theater to watch something if it's something big, just so that next day they won't find out the spoiler online. So maybe they should release something like the last episode of Mandalorian in the theater.
That's a good idea.
Because then everybody's going to want to go because the next day or that night after like 1 o'clock, someone's going to post all the spoilers.
It's so easy to do now. It's not like the old days where they had to like ship the films around. It's everything's digital now. So
Exactly. You can even change the film after it's in the theater,
You
like you do with cats.
I only say that because I'm on a Star Wars action figure group, and the guy that watches The Mandalorian, and exactly at like 1:30, 2 o'clock, he just bombs us with all spoilers, and we try to keep him out.
Cool.
Why would you do that?
Because the internet's full of douchebags.
That's right. So spoilers will sell movie tickets.
To avoid spoilers, you mean?
That should be like the tag.
Well,
here's the
spoilers.
Tomorrow more, you'll be spoiled.
People with their phones aside, the movie theater is an immersive experience. You go in, the lights go down, and like you said, Stacy, it's that you're sucked in with the sound and the visuals. It's an assault on your senses.
Yes.
I don't care how good your system is at home. There's distractions everywhere. You're not in the same immersive experience.
Yep.
I mean, it's like seeing the Wizard of Oz in the movie theater. It's nothing compared to seeing it on your TV.
Right.
Right. So
there's a reason why it existed this long. As a format. Right.
Right. So Cinemark was the third exhibitor to pop in on this, and their official statement is, in light of the current operating environment, we're making near-term booking decisions on a film-by-film basis. At this time, Warner Brothers has not provided any details for the hybrid distribution model of their 2021 films. So that doesn't sound good. I don't know. I mean,
it's like a lot of uncertainty as far as like that's nobody knows anything.
I mean,
what's happening?
I know politics has a big part to play in this, but vaccines are coming.
The virus itself is part of the. This is things we've never dealt with. So
I mean, depending on how this whole vaccine thing goes, we might be. I mean, I'd like
right
to.
Now
we might be back, but to normal.
Right now, you have your number 1, 2, and 3 markets in the country don't have any movie theaters open. That being New York, LA, Chicago. So right there, even if it was going straight to cinema, you got a problem.
Right.
And then the ones that are open in these pockets around America have limited capacities. So, you're not, even if it comes out Christmas Day and everybody wants to go see it, you're only going to get 40%, 20%. And it depends on, the restrictions in certain areas.
But if you owned one of these theaters, that's the question. You got to ask yourself what crafty ways, what would you do to get business in your house?
I mean, you can only fill so many seats, though. That's the point.
Yeah, you can only fill so many seats, and plus, that's what they're doing. That's why they're showing Jurassic Park. That's why they're showing
the theater down the street has Die Hard. Yeah.
Well, I just don't. It seems like it'd be more fiscally like beneficial if you put video on demand as opposed to going right to a streaming service. Like that to me makes more sense. Like
well, they're scared by that because the ones that they did put out, the Invisible Man,
it was
Troll,
terrible.
Mulan was $30 extra on Disney Plus. And it
Oh.
completely tanked.
I know. I mean, I
pay-per-view.
paid $20 to see Invisible Man on video on demand, and it was
You
just
should have asked me first. I would have
it
told
was
you.
a shit movie. So I don't know if that's fair to compare that to like Wonder Woman 1984. I think that's kind of a different situation.
Yeah, but I think they're dangling the low hanging fruit.
I guess
They put Wonder Woman 84 on HBOMax, and it goes all the way back to what Pete said. They only have 8.6 million subs on that channel.
Yeah.
They think they put Wonder Woman 84 on there, they're going to end up with 100 million, 150 million subs.
we'll see, right? I mean, time will tell. It's a gamble. I guess it's all a gamble.
I guess so. But I was waiting for one of these auteurs,
I saw this.
Quentin Tarantino, anybody to, I love the cartoon.
Yeah, it's awesome.
To step up and say something. And just today, this came out, Christopher Nolan. And you know that expression, don't shit where you eat? He took a big steamer right in the bowl. Yeah, this is great. So December 3rd, 2020 is the day that will live in infamy. Some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find they were working for the worst streaming service. Filmmaker Christopher Nolan, whose relationship with Warner's dates back to Insomnia in 2002, said in a statement to Hollywood Reporter. Added Nolan, Warner Brothers had an incredible machine for getting a filmmaker's work out everywhere, both in theaters and in the home, and they are dismantling it as we speak. They don't even understand what they're losing. Their decision makes no economic sense, and even most casual Wall Street investor can see the difference between disruption and dysfunction. Woo! Drop the mic.
Yeah.
Damn.
Respect, though.
Yeah.
I completely agree with him. Completely agree with him.
Well, there. I guess the next film will be brought to you by Universal.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I saw Robert Meyer Burnett ask the question today: did he bite the hand that feeds? Yeah, he did. Will it hurt his career? No, he's Christopher Nolan. The other studios would be like, "Oh, they don't want you."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They'd be all over themselves to get him. Yeah.
Right. Many in Hollywood think Warner Media opted for this drastic move to play to streaming infatuated Wall Street. That's the big one right there. Wall Street streaming. I mean, the only stocks that are doing well are big tech. And there's a reason for that. And redo the botched launch of HBOMax, which has netted a dismal 8.6 million activated subs so far. But one prominent agent notes that the top executives at Warner Media and its parent AT&T CEO John Stankey, Warner Media CEO Jason Kilar, or Killer, and of course Sarnoff, don't understand the movie business, and they don't understand talent relations.
It's true.
While Kilar pays what is seen as lip service to movies, industry veterans say Warner's is sacrificing the huge profit that comes from selling movies in multiple formats and on multiple platforms around the world. Even before Warner's made its play, there was grumbling among agents that Sarnoff, who has been on the job for more than a year, had yet to get acquainted with key players on the film side or make much of an impression at all. That's why many are focusing their wrath on Toby Emmerich. Emmerich's passion is about managing up, says one agent who represents Warner's talent.
Well, an idea just came to me, and I know that we're going to be talking about this a little later, but the fact that AT&T, who owns Warner Brothers, is taking a hatchet to anything that isn't making money. The thought might be, we got to make money now, or else Warner Brothers is in trouble with the bosses.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of that, and it's a lot of Jason Kilar and his whole idea that streaming's the way to go, streaming's the future. And he wants to hitch his wagon to that. And that's fine, but I think it's got to be more of a gradual transition. I don't think you can use the coof as an excuse to just cut it off at the knees. And that's what they're doing. So, and I'm Christopher Nolan said this so perfectly. I mean, I've been saying, how are they going to make money? You know, it's dysfunction. It's all this stuff. They're dismantling their own industry. It's, you know, right. The theaters are a machine. It's been that way from the beginning of time. You make a film, you go to the exhibitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know.
And we've talked about it before about physical media, and like I feel like we're swinging back to that. I mean, like look at people collecting vinyl records and like, you know, all this stuff. It's kind of there's a nostalgia for this type of medium, and I think the only thing keeping people from the theaters is COVID. It's just like it's not a forever thing, and I think they're being very short sighted in the things that they're implementing. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that they need to buy their time. I mean, things might get better in the next season.
They're going to.
I mean, the gloom and doom is nice, but you either got to play either being a pessimist or an optimist.
I suppose.
Well, this too shall pass. And, you know, one of the narratives that was constantly thrown out by the mass media was the new normal.
Yeah.
Well, get used to it. It's the new normal. Bullshit. It's temporary.
Well,
I'll wear a mask. I'll wear a mask in the movie.
No, I mean the new normal being that this is the way it's going to be.
I don't really want to stay stuck in my house every friggin' day for the rest of my life.
No, it's bullcrap.
You know.
I think people eventually are going to come out of the darkness, and
I think so.
I don't think life is going to resume 100% like it used to. There might be people who might still cling on. You might see people wearing masks for the next 5 years,
which is fine. But you'll be doing stuff like that's fine,
right?
Like,
but yeah, so
whatever. But people will be actually out in the world functioning in normal way.
Let me bring you back to 20 years ago, after 9/11, and we heard all the same rhetorics. The world's ever been changed; it'll never be the same. Within 2 years, we are fat, lazy, complacent Americans, and we will go right back. The minute we feel safe, it'll be business as usual.
Until we're hit with another pandemic of a different.
Oh well, yeah, because they're cooking them up every day.
I'm still an optimist for the movie theater.
You laugh,
I think
I do laugh.
I'm still an optimist for it. I think maybe by summer, maybe people will start filing back in. It's just. I think things need to hold out for a little longer if they can find ways to scrape up some.
They should be working together instead of against each other. So
yeah, of course.
Well,
work as a team.
Greed, and we'll get to that soon.
Greed is good.
So people started lawyering up. They all started lawyering up. Actually, I think that's in this story, right? God, these pop-ups. Yeah, is it me or is it getting worse? Like
I'm interested to know about this device that's going to light up my kitchen.
I have other things that pop up on mine.
Do you? So that's for another.
Care to share your screen?
It's nothing weird.
GeekTime After Dark. So the announcement just plummeted stocks, of course, you know. Oof. So it did a lot of damage. Cinemark shares went down 22%. IMAX fell 8%. AMC went down 16%. National Cinema 5%. So immediate panic set in, of course. So it stirred up the lawyers, and now you're going to see lawsuits coming from filmmakers who did not sign up to have their movies put on a streaming platform.
Yep.
So Legendary is the first one. They've lawyered up, and they're suing over two of their films, Dune and Godzilla vs. Kong. The funny part is with King Kong, the Godzilla King Kong movie, Legendary put 75% of the financing into it and said they would have refused this deal to HBOMax, but they were powerless to stop it because Warner is the distributor, and they put in the 25% of the funding.
Oh man,
so they have to say, and they so they're not happy. And I know Denis Villeneuve is furious as well. I mean, Denis Villeneuve goes to this school here. You know, he's an auteur.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you hear that siren?
I did.
It's not me.
It wasn't me.
They're coming to get you.
Yeah, somebody probably.
They're
around the
my
corner.
rides here.
So they're being a little tight-lipped and declining comments and everything else. But I think 17. They promised 17 movies straight to HBO Max, and I think there's going to be issues surrounding a lot of them, and some of them might not end up on HBO Max. I think this is a fluid situation that we're going to have to keep an eye on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I know one of the people who was upset about it was Patty Jenkins. Until very recently, and then we found out why.
Yep.
They gave her $10 million to shut her mouth.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go with the flow.
Pivot like that.
That's go with the flow money right there.
Money talks.
It does.
All the money, right? Isn't that what Deep Throat said?
Money
on
talks, so you don't have to.
So yeah, when people pivot like that, check their bank accounts. Yeah, and Gal Gadot, the two of them. Wow.
It's a little disappointing, but I mean, they gotta do what's right for them, I don't.
Well,
I don't know. If somebody offered me $10 million to change my mind, I probably would.
I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Because are they going to be getting the revenues that they were anticipating with it being?
That's true. That's true.
So they got to make it up for it somewhere. So
right. So again, it goes back to the financials of the whole thing. How do they see this working? Right. Like in the case of Godzilla versus Kong, Netflix offered $225 million to buy it outright, and it was refused. Now, Legendary probably would have taken that because it would have covered the expenses of making the damn thing, right?
Right.
So now you have them putting Wonder Woman on here and then blowing $20 million just to get these two people on board. So you just added to your expenses. How are you going to make this back?
I mean, if you think about internationally, though, they're saying that they don't have, streaming the HBO Max, so they're gonna have to. It's gonna be on video on demand. Their theaters aren't even open in most places in Europe. So, I mean, what kind of revenue is that going to be?
They're going to make all the money in China.
I'm curious to know if they're going to do re-releases for the summer. You're just going to see
they're just going to be constantly running. I think.
I know they have to be, right?
Yeah. Well, that's a good point, because the thing with the theater is you could put Wonder Woman in the AMC and leave it there.
Absolutely.
You could leave it there from December to June.
Right.
That's what they used to do in the old days.
Right.
Yep.
People will still go to see it.
When I was a kid, Star Wars played all year, the whole year.
Yeah. I remember.
I think that's where we're headed right now.
Right. I remember Return of the Jedi leaving the theaters, and I think almost a year later it came back, right?
Yeah.
They did re-releases because there was no home video back then.
Right. And
so,
but then again,
the second time.
But I mean, today's society of basically instant gratification and then move on to something else. Would today's audiences actually have the patience, like in 6 months from now? Hey, let's go see Wonder Woman again.
Well,
no, and that's what's going to kill it, because when you put it on a streaming service for 30 days, you've pretty much guaranteed it's over. Everyone's going to watch it in a month. They're going to watch it at home in that first month, and then be done with it.
Or it has to be
because, like you said, Pete, a lot of this is disposable entertainment nowadays. Right, I mean, you go see a movie like Wonder Woman, you walk out, and 10 minutes later, you can't remember much about it at all.
But I mean, there are certain movies that people will probably see, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. And it, like, any of the Avenger movies, Star Wars, well, not the new Star Wars.
Watch it at home 3 or 4 times for that.
I know, but it's not the same. I think, though, if you watch it at home that month that it's available, I think you're going to be like, oh, that was really, if it's good enough, I think people will be like, that was really good. I'd love to see that in the theater.
I think my brother
saw it with my goddamn kid because they're driving me crazy. I need to get the hell out of the house. I need something to do. Go see something.
But we're from, this is generational again. We're from a generation that would do that. Are younger people going to do that? Once they watch it once on HBO, they're going to be done with it, I think.
I don't know. Like, for instance, I know people who saw Endgame like 3 times in the theater, and they told me they were going back, and I was like, okay. And so, I mean, there are diehard fans, but
but there's not enough diehard fans to keep the industry afloat.
Right. It depends on the movie. Well, it depends on the.
I mean, we're painting with broad strokes here. I'm not saying that every millennial or every Gen Z.
Absolutely, yeah.
No,
but there are fewer of them who appreciate the theatrical experience, as proven by the amount of cell phones that come out during a movie.
True, that's true. Absolutely. I mean, we're going to have a very different conversation 1 year from now. We'll see. It's one of those things, we can speculate till the cows come.
Well, that's why we're here. We're just here to speculate and be completely wrong about everything.
I hope I'm right.
Our job is to offer bad takes so everyone can tell us how shitty we are.
We'll still go to drive-ins, right?
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, but not for
We will
first
go drive-in.
You don't want to go see. Do you want to go see Dune?
No.
Oh, absolutely not.
Fuck no.
Never see Dune.
No, but like,
something where you
No,
have
you
to pay
go see
attention.
movies that you've seen 50 times already at the drive-in because you can't. There's talk about distractions.
Sorry, talk about distractions. My cats are killing each other. Hold on, guys. I think there's cat blood in the living room. Hold on.
Yikes.
Oh, dear.
One's representing streaming and one's the cinema. They're fighting.
Oh,
They're duking it out.
They're like going nuts.
Let us know who wins.
Whoever wins, we lose.
One will fall.
Craziness,
right? So, studios versus movie theaters streaming war continues. I like how it says the streaming war continues on the day it was announced.
Right.
So, insiders filled. Who wrote this? Let me get back up here. Matt McGloin says insiders filled me in on how Hollywood is in panic mode and how war is erupting between movie studios and movie theaters over streaming releases. Now we get an update on the war from Deadline, who has reactions from the movie theater industry and a write-up in regards to Warner HBOMax streaming release announcement, which fits exactly with what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
Which is basically people are lawyering up and the exhibitioners are just upset. And
sorry about that.
They all right?
The kids were fighting.
Wow. Yeah, the war is so bad. We saw movie theater stocks plummet today. Deadline says Warner Brothers gave theaters an hour notice about the announcement. Smaller chains even less.
That's crazy.
Which means AT&T could care less what theaters think.
That's
AT&T is in debt over its head. So, and I actually brought this into our little store here. Whoop, got a comment there. Thank you, Con Guy.
Hello, guy.
Hello, Con Guy.
Glad we can keep you company while you toil.
Toiling's the worst.
So, here's the thing. And this is before even this morning, I heard that now they're taking all the Discovery networks off of Hulu, Disney is, and starting Discovery Plus.
Oh my
God. And I believe it's going to be $8 a month. Did I hear that right? Maybe it's $15. So that didn't. I
like
put together this
Mythbusters,
graphic.
but Jesus.
What's that?
Jesus.
I said I like Mythbusters, but Jesus.
Can you say that 3 times fast?
No, I can't. I can't see it once.
So, hang on, let's put my drink down. So I put this graphic together because I was curious. I'm like, I'll take all the big streaming services we primarily have here. So I picked 12 of them, and I did a cost analysis.
Wow.
Like you have some like Hulu and Netflix that have multiple tiers of pricing, and there's some like, like Disney Plus is $8 a month, but you can pay for the whole year's, like you get a discount.
Right.
But we're just going to say, for the sake of argument, these are monthly costs. And now if you throw Discovery Plus in there, we're over $100 a month.
Right.
So, and I think, and I forgot to look this up, but I think you can get like a basic cable or DirecTV package with more channels than any of these have for cheaper.
I'll tell you what I pay for. I'm going to check to see what I pay for monthly.
So, I mean, this is getting insane. Aside from Peacock, which is free, and I don't understand how that's even.
Oh, there's ads all over.
There's ads. There's
like
ads.
every 10 minutes there's an ad.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's YouTube.
It's basically YouTube. Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube.
And I think
we do want to be a YouTube partner and get monetized with you.
Is it YouTube?
Who's YouTube?
Peacock is?
No, it's
no. It's like YouTube where you keep getting interrupted with.
Gotcha.
Right, and I mean, I bet the license for a lot of those movies are pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, they got stuff like Red Rock West and The Fuzz and stuff like that.
Yeah,
right.
It's frustrating though. Like I was watching The Office on Comedy Central yesterday, and there's this awesome looking show called The Stand. It's like based on a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks awesome. I'm like, CBS Plus. I'm like, screw that. I'm not gonna friggin' buy CBS Plus. What the hell is this shit? Like Twilight Zone 2, the new Twilight Zone with like, what was it? Jordan Peele. And I was like, that sounds awesome, but like you have to subscribe to CBS Plus. Like it's not going to happen, man.
CBS, yeah, the All Access, which also has like 8 million subs. They're so bad they're shutting it down and rebranding it as Paramount Plus because it's a total failure. The Star Trek shows are abysmal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
those are the big draw, and nobody will watch them. So, yeah, good luck, everybody.
I heard ESPN's changing their model though. Aren't they getting rid of all their like sports shows and just doing sports games? Is that true?
They should.
ESPN's in dire straits.
Yeah, but I think they.
I heard yesterday. They just went and laid off a whole bunch of more people, higher up the food chain. Their big show is called First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman just yelling at each other.
That guy's so annoying. He yells about everything.
They are topping out at about a 200,000 person audience right now for the most expensive cable network out there. They are in big trouble, and a lot of their trouble came this past year when they stopped doing sports.
That's right.
Started doing woke. They got political. People don't watch ESPN for politics.
No, they just watch
There's plenty of cable news networks for that.
Absolutely.
And I think they're changing their model. I think they're going to just get rid of all these high profile, high salary anchors and just do games because that's what people want to see at this point.
Well, their first move,
a pregame show and a postgame, but I don't care about the next day.
Their first move was they signed a contract with the American Dog Show people.
Okay,
and they're going to be televising dog shows on ESPN and ABC throughout the year.
Oh my!
Well, they were starting. They were starting to do disc golf.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw
they're
disc
looking
golf
for
on ESPN.
cheap entertainment.
Yay! Whoopee!
Well, here's the problem.
No, there's a problem.
Yeah, it's going to Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
I have Amazon Prime, so.
Yeah, I wanted to go see this in the theater next week.
Oh, next week it was supposed to come out?
December 18th.
Oh, I hadn't even heard of it until I read this article.
Yeah. Now it's going to March 5th exclusively on Amazon Prime.
You are not the king. I know this.
Exclusive. Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
Yep. So this one movie from Paramount is fell into that whole WB follow us. We're gonna go straight to streaming. But this makes sense. I mean, when you think about it, it's a comedy that probably won't net much of a box office anyway.
Yeah. And it's actually it's not like visually whatever. It's gonna it's
they didn't spend a lot of money on it to begin with, so they probably recouped everything when they
I
sold
would have
it.
gone to see it in the theater for sure.
Yeah, me too. I wanted to go, but I mean, it's it's probably, who knows what it's going to be when it comes out. I mean,
it's got a high bar to reach. I mean, the first movie,
the first one was just on CBS Sunday Movies last weekend, not this past weekend, the weekend before, which is kind of random.
Right.
It's a movie I could probably keep on watching, and I never get bored of watching it.
I've seen it.
But it is one of those movies. Coming to America 2 is probably one of those movies. You know when you see a comedy in the theater and you go, "Well, that's a rental."
Yeah.
That's a Saturday morning lay on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
First Take sucks. Yes, it does. ESPN sucks in general. It's just horrible.
Stephen A. Smith is just a yeller. Stop yelling at me.
I watch Monday Night Football, and that's only because they are the ones who carry it.
That's their bread and butter.
We had options.
Right. So anyway, coming to America 2. I was looking forward to it next week, but now I have to wait again.
Yeah, thanks.
So we teased this story at the end of last week.
Brian Jensen.
My God.
You made a terrible Star Wars movie. Go away.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the world. But how does he not get what went on in the original trilogy?
Because he probably never watched it.
I know, but hello, you can consult with people that know what the hell happened and what's going on. If you don't, you're right.
I think he wanted to make his own movie, and he wanted to go against everything. He just wanted to go against the grain.
No. If you read this, he clearly does not know. He doesn't get it. Because a fan asked him, "Did you ever consider Anakin's ghost showing up to speak with Luke and or Rey?" And his response.
Who's Anakin?
Okay.
I said, who's Anakin?
Yeah, who is in it? Almost. He said, briefly for the tree burning scene, but Luke's relationship was with Vader, not really Anakin, which seemed like it would complicate things more than that moment allowed. Vader would have felt like the more impactful teacher for the moment. Now,
wait, Anakin is Vader.
That's right.
Yeah,
if this guy paid any attention to Return of the Jedi, the whole point of that film is Vader's redemption because Luke was reaching Anakin. Luke was getting past Darth Vader and was reaching Anakin. It was the relationship with his father, not Darth Vader, not what Darth Vader represented. It was Anakin, the man inside. That was the whole point of the goddamn movie. The whole point.
He would have never made it.
And he succeeded. He got Anakin to come, and Anakin comes back and saves Luke from the Emperor, and they have a final moment together, father and son.
And you would think that Anakin would have showed up at some point between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens to say, "Hey, son, how you doing? Let's actually have a heart to heart now that I'm not stuck in a breathing suit."
Right, or even show up and say, "Hey, watch out for your buddy's kid over there. I see the same things that I went through," and
Exactly.
But
he's an even worse deadbeat dad. Now that he's dead, he's an even worse deadbeat dad.
He would have gotten beaten by an angry mob of nerds at a Comic-Con if he said that in a group of nerds. He would have never made it out the door. What?
Rian Johnson is history's greatest monster.
Edson, what's going on, man?
He just appears.
I know. That popped out of nowhere.
Trying to be sneaky.
Speaking of ghosts.
Yeah, right.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Yeah.
And
so
got a Star Wars blanket behind him.
Yep.
Nice.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Issue 1.
That's the comic book. Is that a comic or is that a blanket?
It's a comic. It's the
Issue 1.
First issue of the comic book.
Nice. Right on cue.
Save the galaxy or destroy it.
Oh.
We're talking about the Rian Johnson, big bozo here.
How come you didn't put Captain Picard in your movie?
Yeah.
I briefly considered it.
Yeah.
Well, Anakin and him were best friends, but
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't know. It's amazing, and again, I'm not like, one of these Star Wars nerds that's totally immersed in it, but my God, if you read a quote, you just read that answer he gave, and it's like, dude, did you not watch those movies?
We should ask Jay.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Tune in next week. We got a guy from ILM.
That guy.
That guy right there.
Yeah.
Made some of your favorite movies.
He'll tell us where the bodies are buried.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Wow.
Did you see this footage?
I did. All 3 seconds of it.
All right. You tell me what you thought, and then I'll tell you what I thought.
It was Godzilla roaring and Kong roaring and
lots of roaring.
It was lots of roaring. I think it's my biggest question is how did Kong has a chain around his neck, and how if the giant monkey can get chained, what chance does he have against a nuclear pissed off lizard?
None.
There you go.
He's so punk rock now, man. He's so goth with that neck.
So that's what they gave us.
Yeah,
we wanted a trailer, and we got that. I didn't even, to be honest, Pete, I didn't notice the chain. I didn't notice.
Well, no. It's all of the Godzilla nerds have basically analyzed every frame with a team of scientists. So yeah. There's a chain around Kong's neck, and it looks like he's attached to something. So
was
maybe, but I mean, getting captured is like part of his character description.
And he breaks free and climbs up a building.
Exactly.
Except that he's as big as a building in this movie, so that's not going to happen. When I saw it, I didn't notice the chain, and I was like, "These could be from Skull Island."
Right.
Godzilla swimming could be from.
He has a beard.
Okay.
So yeah, no, that's yeah. We all want the trailer. Just come on, Warner Brothers, give us the damn trailer.
Everyone thought it was going to be at this CCXP that was the other day, but it didn't happen. So
They'll give it to you as soon as you sign up for HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Signing bonus.
will the lawyers allow that though?
That could be the wave of the future right there.
It's I guess rumor is that it'll come out with Wonder Woman.
All right.
But there's been rumors about when it'll come out for it was going to come out with Tenet. It was going to come out with some other big sci-fi property that they had. No, it'll who knows.
Is there a release date on it?
Yeah, it's May now. I believe
May 21.
Yeah, I think it's May 21st.
December, the end of December. That kind of would work.
Yeah, it was supposed to have been out this month,
right?
Originally, and then they got it moved.
This is a continuation off the other movie, correct?
Yes.
Or is it a standalone?
No, it's a continuation off of King of the Monsters and Kong Skull Island, which you should definitely say.
I know, I haven't seen that yet.
I do like the 4 posters here.
I saw them.
Those are nice.
Yeah, the posters for the Monsterverse movies are really cool.
Those are awesome. Oh, I like that one a lot.
That's a homage to the old King Kong.
That's really cool. Those are awesome.
Yeah, I like the colors.
Oh,
I'm going to get one of those.
Who are you rooting for?
Oh, Godzilla.
We all know who Pete's rooting for.
Who's going to fall?
Oh yeah, definitely Godzilla. And, I will be very angry if Godzilla doesn't make it out of this one.
Place your bets, people.
Yeah, I wonder if we can put bets down on this, right?
I know.
Vegas odds.
Do you think they'll do dual endings and they'll randomly, whatever theater you go into, you might have Kong winning?
That would be
a good idea.
That would really be
That
cool.
would be so awesome.
What'll probably happen is they'll fight each other to a draw. Then there'll be a big bad monster, probably Mecha Godzilla,
They have to
and then they'll separate as frenemies after that.
That's exactly the Batman Superman thing.
Yeah.
That would be
Save Mothra.
What's your
Why did
mother's
you say
name?
that
That's my
name?
mother's name.
Save Mothra.
Oh,
And actually, if you look carefully at those posters, it looks like Mothra and Rodan are actually showing up again.
Let me go back.
I gotta go back and watch
All this scrolling through all these ads.
so many ads.
Let me see.
Let's see here. Ba-poo. Yeah,
If you look real carefully, there's Mothra and Rodan.
Rodan's right there.
You guys really analyze these.
Oh yeah, we are nerds.
They are
in the
fun.
Godzilla
They are
community.
fun movies. I admit they are fun. I have to go back.
Does anybody else have a problem though with Millie Bobby Brown beating up on Millie Whitney Houston all the time?
What?
What?
She
It's a joke. It's a bad joke.
She's
Get it? Millie Bobby Brown beating up on
Oh,
Millie Whitney
right.
Houston.
Yeah, I got you.
Bad
Comedy.
joke. Bad joke.
I feel like she's slightly annoying, but at the same time,
think?
Oh, she's adorable. Leave her
she's
alone.
just over the top
She's
sometimes.
so cute. She's like
Please pay attention to me on my social media
whatever.
platform.
Dude, she's like 13.
I know. That's the whole thing. She's like,
She's pretty amazing for her age, I have to say.
And in 10 years, we'll read about how she's a crack addict on Skid Row.
No, she won't. She's British.
Did you see the Yes. Did you see the Sherlock Holmes film on her?
No.
She plays the sister of Sherlock Holmes.
Alona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elena Holmes. Yeah.
It was okay. I watched it. It was all right.
Enola Holmes.
Family.
Enola. Enola. I mean, it's a loan backwards.
So I feel like we have 2 stories that will never go away.
I
One
know.
is Ray Fisher versus Joss Whedon. And the other one is Johnny Depp
Yep.
I know.
and his marriage problems and he's on again, off again.
How do
The
we move
fans
on?
love him, the fans hate him, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's probably a lot of women out there that want him divorced.
Oh, he's divorced.
Back in the 90s, now not so much.
I know, right? Now it's like, ugh.
Like, oh, I had a big crush on Johnny Depp back in the 21 Jump Street days, but
So
progressively weird.
the fans are petitioning. They don't want Mads Mikkelsen.
They don't. Okay.
No, they're anti-Madites. and they're petitioning to get Johnny Depp back in Final Beasts or Fantastic Beasts 3, which doesn't really need to be made, and by our friends at Warner Brothers, because they'll just put it on HBO Max anyway.
I think it's a bad casting. I think they should stick with
Johnny.
No, not Johnny.
With Mads.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny was fine in the role. These movies just aren't very good. So
no, they're not. But I feel like he's. I don't know. I feel like he kind of typecast himself after Pirates. I don't know.
You know, at first I'd be quick to dismiss something like this. Okay, the fans are petitioning. They want him in. Who cares? Whatever. But this is the same company that let the fans dictate to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Zack Snyder's Justice League cut. They listened to the fans and they let Zack Snyder do that. So are they going to listen again? I mean, I don't see any reason why this guy had to lose his job over losing a lawsuit with a trash gossip rag.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. And again, like I said before, like I could see them wanting to distance themselves from like the drama and all of that crap.
Then why are they giving Amber Heard, the same company's giving Amber Heard a job in Aquaman 2?
She shouldn't, right? And like right now, there's a big petition, and there's like all this hubbub
Right.
about Amelia Clark replacing Amber Heard on as an Aquaman 2.
Right.
So,
Right,
and that's how it should be. If like Johnny Depp has to be cast out because of all of this stupid drama, then she should have the same medicine. Like it should be the same thing for her too. Like
the double standard.
Oh, we
mean,
love double standard.
I mean, seriously, there's a reason why every movie there's a casting director, and think about all the roles of good movies that if they didn't cast that particular actor or actress, how bad they could have been.
absolutely, yeah.
Well,
Keanu Reeves and Dracula.
I actually didn't mind.
You would be nice to Keanu. I love Keanu.
Think about
No, we love Keanu, but just that was not good casting.
casting.
Winona Ryder wasn't particularly good in that movie.
I didn't think it
either.
was terrible, but like for instance, the whole Ghostbusters cast was. I mean, they finalized the cast, but Eddie Murphy was supposed to be in it. John Belushi, John Candy was supposed to be in it, and look what happened. And it would have been a completely different movie if I think those other characters. But it just so happened the chips fell where they did, and casting director was really good, and they did their job. And look how successful it was. So
Right, and there's probably a bunch of crap movies that no one ever watched that had like shitty casts. That maybe if other people would have played those parts, it would have been a totally different.
right.
situation.
So people should just stay out of it. I think it's
like
ridiculous.
Tom Cruise as Iron Man.
Oh,
So
oh.
I mean, that's why it's
Not
a
my favorite
profession.
if that was the case.
Right. It's a profession in the movie industry to be a casting agent or a casting director. Is that what they call it?
Mhm.
Casting agent.
casting director.
Yeah.
Who's feeling sleuthful?
Sleuthful?
I could be
Yeah.
a little sleuthy. What's up?
I'm just wondering. I'm just thinking.
Maybe a little bit.
Just thinking out loud.
Okay.
There's a petition to bring Johnny Depp back. At the same time, there's a petition to get rid of Amber Turd.
Well, I feel like it's
No. Wait. Who wants to go through the names and see if it's the same people on both petitions?
Mm.
Great. I love it.
Oh, I see.
Guaranteed, a lot of them are the same people.
Probably.
If not all.
How many
That would
people,
make total sense.
certain people pay attention to these types of things, and most people don't.
Most people actually have to exist in real life. Yeah.
Exactly. So they're not spending their whole day,
It's pretty
Right.
sad when you have a hashtag with your name and turd after it.
You're not.
Like, that can't be good. That's
You're
not
not
good for
winning.
your
You're
reputation
not
or
winning
online.
at that point, no.
We're such
Hashtag
well-adjusted,
Amber Turd.
mature adults that we sit here and talk about the Plastic Man movie.
Oh, we got
What?
an alert over at Overlord DVD. Apparently, there's a rumor that they're gonna recast Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I saw
No.
that. I saw that. I didn't have time to pull it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's when I do the
You don't
liberal,
like, you
the
don't
liberal
like
crying
green?
scream.
You hate green?
She doesn't have a particularly good personality.
I watched that video from Doomcock. Watch that video. It's really
Not
interesting.
now. Well, after this
After
video
this.
is done, watch Overlord DVD, Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth.
Why?
Yeah.
Like what happens?
She's a pain in the ass. Nobody likes her.
No,
She's a terrible actress. It goes on and on.
and she could,
Disney's had it with her. She's terrible. And apparently they're watching her YouTube channel go up in flames, and that's telling them a lot. Like people hate this woman. Yeah, she's. You know, it's funny because in our opening, I had clips of her again in my opening video with her Avengers co-stars, and they're just they can't. You can just tell by the way they look at her and the way they talk to her.
Really?
Yeah. And I took it out for length, so I'll put them in next week. But
and it shows
my
on the
little
screen.
Braveheart thing took up too much time.
Yeah, and it shows on the screen. Like anytime she's ever come in any of the Avenger movies, she's so unlikable. You just want her off the screen immediately.
It's funny because I never even
Please,
noticed.
just shut up and get away. Get out of it.
I never really noticed.
Yeah, she's got the acting range of a rock.
Right. I mean, literally a 2x4 can act better than her.
I recently watched Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and she's in that. But
She's in Kong Skull Island too.
Yeah, she actually isn't terrible in Kong.
Because she doesn't. She's just a cartoon character, and they're all.
Yeah,
cartoon
she's playing an archetype, so yeah, it's basically.
And in the Avenger
her
movie,
job is to look at the green screen monkey with wonder, and she does it.
yeah, I guess she was pretty bad in like the Avenger. Like,
right? And they made her so
she's
OP.
hardly in it though. She's hardly in it.
Right.
And a lot of it is probably because they don't like her.
Right, and plus they made her too OP. That's why she wasn't in the movie.
She's definitely.
She was totally overpowered.
She's way OP.
Right. She could have just ended the movie
really
in a matter of 5 minutes.
Being that strong, I agree, but I don't know.
The bottom line is they're having serious second thoughts about making her the face of the franchise moving forward because Captain Marvel is going to be the face of the Avengers now.
Right.
And they're like, she's not going to play as well as Robert Downey Jr.
No way.
Best. I love him. He's the best. He's
right. So,
but then there's this thing.
What is this thing? Please tell me, because I don't.
You don't know who that is?
So, Plastic Man is basically DC's long-running version of Deadpool in a way. I mean, he's not fourth wall breaking, but he's wisecracking, and
Yeah, he even predates DC.
yeah, exactly. They acquired him. You don't remember Plastic Man? They had cartoons when he was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't remember him at all.
I had an action figure where you can
stretch, and
bend
he's
his
funny
arm
and kooky, and
yeah.
Borderline incompetent at times. He's kind of bumbling and he's fun. He's just goofy.
Okay.
Well, apparently they're developing a live action version and they want to gender swap it.
No, Jesus. Not again.
Again.
But he's Plastic Man.
Not anymore.
Well, you put a WO in front of it.
Well, it depends on.
Right.
Maybe he could have a girlfriend that's Plastic Woman, and then no.
Maybe
I don't know.
Yeah, never mind.
Are they gonna dare to put her in the same outfit?
Why not?
You know, if they want to make up these lost theater revenues,
well,
they might.
He has
want to do that.
basically an open shirt and no legs.
So technically,
he's wearing a one-piece. He's wearing a onesie.
Onesie, yeah.
Hard.
Technically,
It's even laced up in the front. See?
It does definitely seem like it's made for a woman.
Right.
Technically, he can change his sex because of his agility.
Right. He's made of plastic.
Superpower, so he can
So he should be.
he can do whatever he wants.
Interesting. That's a
Right.
whole thing, though. I mean,
Oh!
if you
That's
think
how
it's
they'll
that
do
way,
it.
I mean, you know, it's a lot of people.
That's how they're going to cover that.
So apparently, since Tim Burton's Batman, they've been trying to make this as a movie.
No kidding.
Yeah, all through the 90s and everything. Yeah, it says here after
I
Tim
would
Burton's
love to see
Batman.
Tim Burton do it.
A script made alter ego Patrick O'Brien, a radical and neurotic environmentalist, was written by the Wachowskis before they cemented their name with Bound or The Matrix. And came to real names in Hollywood. Steven Spielberg expressed a passing interest in directing.
Wow.
Spielberg's involvement didn't come to fruition when Plastic Man seemed too obscure a property. The project went cold until 2008 when it was given the green light again to capitalize on the resurgence of comic book movies. Everyone's favorite go-to for lead Keanu Reeves. And later David Tennant were cast as O'Brien at various
Tennant would be
points.
good.
Before momentum on the film and every utterance of it suddenly stopped.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I don't know.
You got a comment down there. Check
I
it out.
think
Plastic binary being.
plastic, they, them.
Yeah. I guess if anyone's going to be, you know, this might be the right.
This is the opportunity to do that, right?
Yeah, maybe.
There you go. You know who they can cast?
Elliot Page.
Elliot Page. Exactly.
No, I think a person has to have a personality, right? Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Plastic Man's funny and wisecracking. So yeah.
You need something.
Yeah.
Different.
So again, I think look, I think the five of us are regally pissed at Warner Brothers for this whole HBO Max straight to streaming, but I think they've been listening again to the fans, because when they said they were bringing back Jared Leto's Joker for the Justice League cut, the Snyder cut, people weren't happy with that because he's the worst Joker of all time.
You think so?
Sorry, I got the Cowboys game on in the background here. They're going to change his look. This is what they've done.
He becomes
They took away the cap teeth. They got rid of a lot of the tattoos. They made his hair longer. He actually looks kind of frightening versus the gangsta that he was, which is down there. So
it's hard because, Heath Ledger was like the best Joker, right? I mean, do we agree?
Mark Hamill's the best Joker, but
Mark
Hamill was phenomenal. Yeah.
Continue.
I mean, for me, you guys aren't like Christian Bale isn't your favorite Batman, so we're not on the same page with this anyway. So whatever.
Well, I'm not a big. Actually, I don't like the Nolan Batman films much at all.
Conroy, continue.
They're so good. I love them. But
I see, as a Batman fan, I
well, you're the comic guy, so you have a different perspective. I'm just
my biggest problem is that Gotham City's missing. Gotham City's a character.
Okay.
And Batman in Chicago doesn't work.
Did you like Joker though? The Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
Yes, I love Joker.
Okay. Because that was like so all encompassing. With it was the environment.
Well, it was a psychological piece. Yeah, it was.
It was a character study in a comic book wrapper.
Right.
Absolutely. I mean, it was But yeah, okay. So you're coming. I mean, when I was a kid, I watched old episodes of the Batman with what's his name?
Adam West.
Yes, I mean, I watched old. That was my Batman reference, and then I went all the way to I kind of skipped over the '80s. I didn't really pay too much attention to that, and then Dark Knight, Christian Bale was my Batman. So
it's funny you bring up Joker. By the way, another Warner Brothers property, and I was reading today. Someone made a really good case for using Joker as the point. They cut the budget on that. They didn't want to make that movie. Toby Emmerich at AT&T Warner didn't believe in the project. So he whittled the budget down to a point where he was hoping the director, Todd Phillips was his name, I guess, would bail on it. But Phillips didn't bail on it. He went and got other investors, and he made the movie for what money he had. The thing ended up grossing $1 billion worldwide and became a huge hit. Was nominated for Oscars and won a couple, right?
wow, yeah.
If that went straight to streaming, does that happen?
No, you're right.
No.
That's a good example.
Nope.
It was a great example, and I wish I could give credit to whoever wrote that. I forgot because I was just reading it this morning in passing while I was eating, and I should have saved it. But my brain doesn't operate well when I'm eating at 4:15 in the morning.
Oh. Yeah.
Does anyone's?
Yeah. So, but that point was so poignant, and it's true.
Yeah.
That became a huge hit, and that's just one case. There's plenty of movies that have that same story.
Right.
And I look at, we both watched Mank this weekend.
Yep.
That was another lost opportunity.
Yeah.
I think that plays better in the cinema.
Absolutely.
It was flat on TV.
I agree.
Where can I find Mank?
Netflix.
Done.
And David Fincher is an auteur. David Fincher's work belongs in a theater.
Screen. It would have. Yeah. I mean, other than that, what do they call it when they the little?
I love the cigarette burns.
It was too much.
Because that was that. Every 20 minutes. Every 20 minutes, when the film reel had to switch, they put a cigarette burn. So the projectionist knew to.
Oh, so it kind of pays homage to that.
That's how the projectionist knew to flip to because they would have two projectors.
Okay,
You load all the odd reels on.
Obvious. It was very obvious.
So reel 1 was on this one, reel 2 was on this one.
Okay.
When reel 1 ended, you switched to this one to run reel 2. Well, you put reel 3 on this one.
Gotcha.
So the projectionist, because he'd be sitting up there brain numb from watching this thing 400 times.
Right.
You have to look for the cigarette burn to know, oh, I got to flip.
Okay.
So in Mank Pete, Fincher puts cigarette burns like every 20 minutes.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So Mank is playing in 2 theaters in Connecticut.
Yeah.
It is.
It's playing in Wallingford and it's playing in...
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, go. Just type in Mank and then...
I can't get popcorn.
Yeah, you type in Mank and...
Bring your own, Keith.
Maybe if Mystic gets Mank, I'll go down there and watch it because I could get popcorn there. And you know what? I gotta say, I'm eating the popcorn watching Citizen Kane, and I'm like, something is different about this popcorn. And then it dawned on me. They use real butter, and it says so on their website.
It's the best movie theater in Connecticut.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
So you can have your chance to watch it. It is in select theaters.
Okay. Good to know.
I checked weekly.
I will go check that out. I will brave the coof.
But that is a positive sign right there that you do. If you do your research, you will. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, and Wallingford's a family-run theater. Mystic's a family-run theater.
Yeah.
That's the difference. These aren't big box theaters.
They're struggling though.
Do you know where the Riverview Cinemas is in Southbury?
Yeah, that's another privately owned.
In Southbury?
You'll never see these movies. It's like what they did with Bill and Ted. See, when they say they're going to release these things simultaneously, they don't sign the contracts with the big box theaters. When Bill and Ted was released, same thing. I had to go find that in a smaller theater. And I did. It was in Wallingford. But
I'm also curious to know if they get a special viewing copy of it, because when you watch anything on Netflix, you're not really watching true HD. It's just a watermark.
We have a story about that coming up.
Right. And it'd be interesting to see if they get...
Yeah.
We could go there now.
Yeah, because I need to be informed about this because I'm uninformed in this.
Do you want to go there now, or do you want to go like?
The difference is buying a Blu-ray, and
I've got like social media bullshit. Let's see what we got left here. We got social media bullshit.
I don't understand.
We do have the New York Jets. Want to do the New York Jets and laugh?
Jets.
Yeah, this is awesome. Let's do the Jets. We'll do the Jets. We'll get it out of the way. So, the Jets have no wins this year for the non-NFL people, and they were so close to winning their first game this weekend, and it doesn't look like they have a shot at winning anymore. And for some reason, they were playing the Las Vegas Raiders, who's a far superior team. Mm-hmm. The Jets were 13 seconds away from winning their probably one and only game of the year.
It had to be.
And this happens.
Jets coming. Carr put some air under it. Wide open is Ruggs for the touchdown. Miraculous. No, he didn't. Just incredible. This is simple. You're going to stutter it, and then you're going to go. And Lamar Jackson, he just stops his feet. And that's just situational awareness. Look, Henry Ruggs runs 4.27 40.
No one has designed more defenses in their life probably than you have. The Jets went 0 blitz on that play. What is your first reaction?
Dumbest call I've ever seen. And been around the thing for 58 years, 30 years as a coach. That's the dumbest call ever. There's no other way of putting it. Look, and it's not like cover zero. There's a time and a place for cover zero. That thing sure ain't it. It's just stupid.
I will say this. I agree, because to suggest that the Jets did this on purpose would suggest a level of aptitude that they have not demonstrated the entire season. It's much easier to assume than inept than some sort of brilliant. But Cindy, do we have the play before? Because it wasn't in the highlight, but it should be pointed out for those who didn't see the game. The Jets almost gave up a touchdown on the play before. The Raiders had wide open receivers behind the defense on consecutive plays. This was the second to last play, Rex. So how does this happen?
I guess that, look, these guys are horrible on defense. They have no idea how the hell you let anybody get behind you in that situation. No wonder Greg went cover zero, because they can't cover him anyway.
No, he didn't.
So there's been a lot of debate online, of course. What happens is if the Jets end up with the worst record in football, I hear an echo.
That better pick.
they get the number 1 draft pick, and there's a quarterback at Clemson who's a once in a generation talent. People think that they did that on purpose, including Boomer Esiason, so that they can get this kid, Trevor Lawrence. So I don't think that's the case, but it's truly entertaining regardless. Because, yeah, Sexy Rexy.
I don't know. I think he had lost more. I think he might have put on a couple extras.
Yeah.
Since then.
It's funny. I was trashing ESPN earlier, and then I used a clip from ESPN. But I just thought that he was so brutally honest and funny.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of people's takes, and they were being a lot more polished. I just loved how he just kept calling it.
He just says it how it is. And
That's
that
always
was my first thought as I was watching the game, because on the previous play, I'm like, well, I was like, oh, they're doing sigh of relief. They got two plays in a row. It looked like that's why the first thought I had was they had to give the game away, because how could they do that 2 consecutive plays in a row? And the only thing that will hurt them there is a touchdown. Just keep half the defense in the end zone.
Exactly.
What the heck is the problem there?
It's Pee-wee football 101. When you're trying to hang on to a lead of 4 points or more and you know they need a touchdown, you just don't let them get behind you. So, yeah, pretty funny. There was one really interesting take, and I forgot who it was that said it today. I told you, Edson. Who was it? Said basically Adam Gase, the head coach, and the defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, hate each other. And they've had several closed door, like Donniebrooks, but behind the scenes. And people think that Greg Williams didn't want Adam Gase to win a game. So he called that blitz and didn't leave anybody in the end zone on purpose. He lost his job. He lost his job the next morning, so he's out of a job.
Either that or he got a private phone call from up in the owner's box. Say you got to let him score.
Jacksonville just won. It went to overtime.
Yeah.
Jacksonville and Minnesota. Was it Minnesota they played?
Yeah, it was Minnesota.
Yeah, they went to overtime.
Yeah.
So Jacksonville, if they lost and the Jets won, Jacksonville might get that number 1 pick. So Jacksonville only has 1 win. It's interesting. Either way, it's hilarious. I mean, the sheer boobery that comes out of the Jets organization on an annual basis, they have to be one of the worst franchises of all time.
And why would a once in a generational player want to go there in the first place? That's a totally other discussion.
Well, for the same reason Joe Namath was there. It's New York. The endorsements. You're in the number 1 market.
Personally, he can. Yeah,
he's going to be all over TV. The kid's a rock star. He's got long hair. He's good looking.
Right.
He
might not win anything, though.
He'll be Joe Namath. Exactly. Yeah. So, we'll see. Yeah. Pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, I'm going to change this up again. While we're on funny, let's stick with funny before we get into the eye-rolling nonsense. Did you see this? I just stumbled on this.
Oh my God! What the heck, man? Jeez.
Never heard of that.
Shenanigans right there. That's some serious.
So this guy was basically catfishing people as Kathleen Kennedy, and
oh my God,
bunch of other yeah.
And apparently they've been on this guy for a while. It says, following years of investigations, authorities have finally arrested a suspect in the ongoing case of the con queen of Hollywood, an individual who scammed creative career hopefuls for hundreds of thousands of dollars by impersonating female members of Hollywood's elite.
Oh, man.
Scumbag, man.
According to Hollywood Reporter, on November 26th, authorities in the English city of Manchester arrested Hargobind Tahil Radmani, a 41-year-old Indonesian man whom the FBI and American security firm, I think it's a security firm, K2 Integrity, believed to be the true identity of the notorious criminal known as the Con Queen of Hollywood.
That's crazy.
Coming to HBOMax in March. Who, since 2016, has impersonated various female Hollywood executives in order to scam victims out of thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars apiece.
And they're the hardworking people in Hollywood too, like the people that aren't making tons of money. But anyway,
Executives impersonated by Tahil Rahmani, thanks to his particular skill with emulating accents and voices, included former Sony executive Amy Pascal, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy, and former 20th Century Fox chairman and CEO Stacy Snyder.
Wow.
Outside of Hollywood, the man also tricked others into believing he was Wendy Murdoch, wife of Fox chairman Rupert Murdoch, and Christine Hurst Schwartzman, a prominent intellectual property lawyer and wife of Blackstone Group CEO Steven Schwartzman.
Wow.
As part of his scheme, Tahil Rahmani would entice his marks, which included makeup artists, photographers, actors, and stunt performers, with the promise of work on any number of large-scale, heavy-budgeted projects that would be developed in Indonesia. He would then ask his victim to pay exorbitant amounts of cash in order to cover costs of travel, services, and other fees, all the while promising that the money would eventually be reimbursed. However, upon arrival to Indonesia, those who fell for the impersonations found themselves stranded alone, short thousands of dollars, most of which was pocketed by Tahil Rahmani.
Yeah.
He's a scroll.
It's terrible. I wish I had recordings of his voice because I want to hear this man. He sounds like a lady. Like, I want to hear him. Like,
Dude sounds like a lady.
Several of them, and like big studio. You know, that the sad part is you know, you get these kids that go out to LA with the big dreams of making it in showbiz and whatnot, and why would they expect to get a call from somebody like Kathleen Kennedy or Amy Pascal? They just wouldn't.
Why go to Indonesia?
Why do people think they won the lottery that they never played? You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, they don't even know the simplest thing, that without an agent, you're never going to talk to anybody in the business.
Yeah.
So
scumbags know how to feed off that. It's sad.
Yeah.
Really shitty.
Yeah. You know, I just, in my mind, I see that you know, cliched pick, the little blonde-haired girl with her 2 suitcases getting off the Greyhound bus in Hollywood. And, you know, I'm going to be an actress. You know, kind of like in Bowfinger when Heather Graham gets to Hollywood. You know, and then this guy calling her up on the phone and going, "Oh, I got a deal for you."
Yeah.
That sounds like every 80s rock band music video.
Yeah.
She stepped off the bus. Yeah. Right.
Welcome to the jungle, baby.
Yeah.
Like every 80s rock band music video.
Yep. Or kind of like the scene in Ed Wood where he meets Martin Landau's daughter in the bar, and she's talking about all the money she's got and where she wants to invest it in movies, and she complete misunderstanding, and he thinks she's going to finance his movie, and they're well into shooting it, and asks her for the money, and she's like, "I gave you everything I have, $100."
Boy.
So yeah, what a world. That's crazy.
If we were to stick with funny, can we go to the whole Mario Lopez story? Because
Yes. Where did I put that?
that is freaking.
Here it is. Yes.
Just wrong and hilarious. And
I saw this morning on Clownfish, and I was like, "Oop, I'm adding that. This is funny."
It's just
now
Mario Lopez
everybody thinks it's a joke.
is going to play hot Colonel Sanders.
I saw this.
Wow.
Awesome. I wonder if Jackie's going to work on this.
It's a 15-minute film.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think aren't they going to adapt it?
I don't think so. Like if you read to the bottom, it's 15 minutes long.
Well, I know they're going to make promos, but I think eventually, if the promos are successful, there are thoughts of turning it into a movie.
I don't know. I think it's just kind of like sponsored by KFC, and it's like I think it's like I really think it's a long commercial.
He's so creepy looking in that picture.
So what you
Look at him.
gotta watch the trailer. It
rubs the gravy on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
No, there's like murder and intrigue and forced marriage and like a weird scandal between the mom and the fiance. You gotta watch the preview. It's hilarious.
In 15
I mean, I
minutes?
read this. I didn't bother looking at the trailer.
I didn't either. I knew.
Ridiculous.
Trailer. Watch the trailer.
Wow, that's hilarious.
It's gonna have like a huge cult following.
It is.
Yeah, it definitely will.
It's a mini movie. See, a Lifetime mini movie. It's 15 minutes long, but like I don't know what else can happen because they gave it all away in the trailer. I mean, nothing else can really.
Don't all modern trailers do that?
Yeah, they do.
But for a 15-minute movie, I mean,
I could see him as like a mafioso character.
You know, while we're on that trailer thing, that drives me nuts. I avoid trailers on purpose now because, Thor Ragnarok is a perfect example. They should have never shown the Hulk in that trailer.
Right.
Because now you go to the movie and you're waiting for the Hulk to pop up, and that should have been a huge surprise.
That's
And,
a huge reveal.
same with Blade Runner 2049. They should have never showed you that Harrison Ford was coming back.
Terminator. They never should have told you that Arnold Schwarzenegger was the good guy. That should have been a huge surprise.
Right.
Yeah, the trailer people need to be better. But that's sometimes what makes me go see movies are the trailer. So.
Well, there's a way to do it, and
You don't have to give away all the good stuff.
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, the creatively bankrupt people calling the shots, they don't have enough self-confidence in what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to put all the money shots in the trailer for some reason and just blow their wad.
Yeah, that's.
Well, it's the same thing with lightsabers in Star Wars movies.
Mm.
Some people won't go to a Star Wars movie unless there's a lightsaber, with the exception of Mandalorian and Solo.
No, they got lightsabers now.
They do have lightsabers in Mando.
They do.
That's right.
I think Solo was the only one out of the whole Star Wars franchise that didn't have lightsabers at this point.
So my only question with Mario Lopez is he going to lick people's fingers?
Oh,
no, they're gonna lick his.
Mario Lopez's fingers.
You need to watch the trailer. It's friggin' hilarious.
It's the wave of the future. It's all going to be mini movies from now on. Why make the blockbusters? Just
I don't know if
mini
that's true
movies.
because they had that whole network.
Yeah.
That what was it, QB or whatever, or Cubby?
Yeah, exactly.
QB.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
QB.
And it went bankrupt, and it had like tons of big backing, and it did not take. So I was still wrong.
Are you saying 30 years from now, Mommy, what's a movie theater?
I hope not.
No,
Mommy, what's QB?
QB's done.
Katzenberg? Katzenberg was financing that, wasn't he?
There were I read this whole article about the people that were behind it, huge name stars were really thinking this was going to be a thing, and it just crapped out and went bankrupt
Quickly. It was only around 5 or 6 months, wasn't it?
It went on that whole thinking that this whole generation of people that want instant gratification and only have the attention span of a gnat, whatever. And so it didn't take. So that's hope. There's hope in the future, I think.
I hope so.
Yeah, 30 years from now, you'll be the protagonist of every movie by going into a holodeck and playing it. So,
ooh,
you'll have everybody will have just VR headsets on.
Exactly. Yeah,
and then everybody's in the living room going like this.
They probably said that shit about us. So, I don't know.
I can speak exactly to that after something I was in today. But I can't. But I can't go under heavy.
I know exactly what you're going.
What you were in today?
I have to say, I keep seeing the commercial for the Oculus thing. Has anyone done?
I was in.
That's the start. The Oculus.
I was in a session with someone who has firsthand knowledge of what's coming in the next 5 to 10 years.
Well, VR is definitely on the cusp. I mean, it's been.
But I can't say anything because I'm under NDA. So moving on.
Stop it. I have to say that Oculus thing looks kind of fun. I mean, I wouldn't go put out the money for it.
Well,
but
they're really pushing it now in video games. I mean, a lot of games now are
video games. Yep.
And in open world games are really VR heavy, which means that you can literally walk around this huge sandbox and feel like you're there.
That's kind of neat, but
yeah,
I'm an old lady, so what do I know?
And they're getting cheaper. I think. I think. Oculus released this thing called the Quest 2, and it's only $300, but it's supposed to be a really good VR headset.
Commercials keep coming on for it. It's Facebook owns it though.
And you can actually save games in the unit now. So you don't even
I would love to try it. I mean, I wouldn't buy it, but it looks fun.
I love laughing at people walking around
I wouldn't.
I know you see them. You're like
in the 90s, I remember
get run over.
This bar in Boston, and they had a section of VR, a little section of virtual reality. People could pay to do it. Now you can have it in your house and not look like a moron in front of a bunch of people.
Right.
Your animals are going to be totally confused. They're like, what the hell is wrong with this guy?
I know.
Mama's doing the front.
They're all surrounding you. You don't even see them. They're all surrounding
you. Knocking things over in your house. I don't know how that works, but
well, what's that? Ready, go. What's that movie that came out?
Ready Player One.
Ready Player One. Yeah.
Ready Player 2 is coming.
Oh,
so
is CBS hiring?
CBS All Access is hiring. I found this really funny. CBS All Access, Paramount Plus, is CBS's digital subscription video on demand and live streaming service. So basically, they're looking for a VP. Where'd the thing go? Where's the job title? Here it is. VP of Content Acquisition. So we can fix Star Trek Discovery.
Basically, yeah.
What do you say? Let's all apply. One of us is bound to get it, right?
Yeah.
I have the least qualifications, so it'll probably be me.
Yeah, it probably would be you.
Yeah, probably me.
I just want to show up to one of those boardroom meetings like Steve Jobs, just barefoot, chewing on an apple, and asking people if they're still virgins.
I thought it was funny that I got an email from Indeed. They send me these job things all the time, and I was like, wait a minute, the VP of Content Acquisition for CBS All Access.
This is a job that's posted. Shouldn't this be a headhunted, like, whatever?
It is. It's through an industry.
Yeah. So maybe they want you.
Anytime I see Viacom, I want to cringe. I hate
Viacom.
Yeah. So I just thought that was funny because CBS All Access is a pile of dog shit.
And then at the bottom they say follow CBS Interactive on Twitter and Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Probably lots of open rents in Burbank right now.
I mean, they're looking for editorial publishing content. I mean, they're going to rebrand CBS All Access as Paramount Plus, and they don't want to make the same mistakes they made the first time. So I can tell them, here's my free advice. You don't even have to bring me in for an interview. Get rid of Alex Kurtzman and Secret Hideout. Cancel the Star Trek shows and start over again. Bring in good Star Trek writers like Ronald D. Moore, and you will fix it.
I don't understand. There's so much good Star Trek to play from, and it's bad. I don't get
it. Call Robert Meyer Burnett. Call Mark Altman. Call Ashley Miller. Hire those guys. They'll fix your show overnight.
Right. I mean, can you really name anything from the original series and Next Gen and Deep Space Nine? Any episodes that were really bad that you literally turned it off?
Oh, there's several in the original series.
Next Gen season 2 season finale, the clip show.
Shades of Grey.
Thank you, Shades of Grey.
But still, it's not that bad in comparison.
And The Children Shall Lead, The Way to Eden. There's a bunch, but
Spock's Brain.
But when you were back then, you were doing Spock's Brain. But Spock's Brain's kind of fun.
It is fun. With McCoy, it's fun. I wouldn't turn it off. It was just
no.
But that's what I mean.
But The Way to Eden, I will turn off. But
it's tolerable.
Back then, Jude, they were doing 26 episodes a season.
You're bound
22 around Next Gen time. Right. You get filler episodes. You get in your budget constraints.
Yep.
You've got to have bottle shows that don't cost you a lot of money, so you go with a cheap or bad concept to save some money and fill the season. So not like now where they make 8. There's no excuse for a bad episode.
The whole season's just a pile of shit.
Right.
You can't even make up for it.
Cannot make up for it.
Once it's broken, it's broken.
We're back to these guys again.
Oh boy.
This is what I talked about earlier.
AT&T, man.
AT&T.
and actually, this kind of dovetails right into this story. I'll link these two stories. God, these ads. Remember last week we did the story about I Am Not Starfire?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Well, that author is getting Batman.
Getting what? What is
She's getting Batman.
What? Oh, come on.
She will take over Detective Comics with issue 1034 in March.
I didn't know
after they do a 2-issue Future State Dark Detective run in January and February.
They want to get sold. That's the only explanation.
They're also hiring. I didn't have time to pull that. I mean, this stuff has been coming in like by the minute the last couple days, and they're hiring. Clownfish put a video up like where at dinner time I was eating dinner, and they're basically replacing a lot of the executives they just got rid of. They just kind of rewrote their job titles and reposted them to get, we got rid of our 6-figure people. Now we'll hire some $30,000 people. And I think that's what's happening here. I mean, they're just looking, I don't know. If they were really going to sell it, they wouldn't devalue it like they're doing.
That's what confuses me the most. Why are you devaluing it?
So I'm thinking that they're going to try to hang on to DC.
Unless there's a pretty big scandal and there's a whistleblower. I mean, geez, how do you do it?
But that's...
I just think that they're trying to get by on the cheap, and they're going to still focus on the YA novels and the what do you call those things? Collected editions and things like that. I still think the monthly floppy is a year or less.
Again, it's the same thing with these franchises. They have so much good meat. I don't understand how you can't make something good from the core. You just gotta destroy it.
Yeah, so I can't see them. If they were really going to sell DC Comics, they wouldn't. They would keep the high-powered talent there because it would bring more money in the sale by crushing it like they're doing.
Imagine if Disney bought them.
Yeah, Disney can't buy any. They can't buy a pack of gum right now.
I know. But imagine if they did, they'd have Marvel and DC.
Oh, they'll ruin that too.
Yeah.
So, Ethan keeps calling for DC's head. I'm not so sure now. The fact that they're replacing their upper management with clearly cheaper upper management. I don't know. I think they're going to try to get by on bare bones and hope that, like, by some miracle, by this time next year, they're actually turning a profit with the comic book division.
Yeah.
Because if they want to keep making, television and movie content with these characters, I mean, they want to hang on to the decades of material they have to base it on. Selling it off completely, everything would be gone. I could see them leasing the characters away.
Yeah, that would.
But what are they?
Yeah.
So I haven't been to a comic book store in a while. But what are they releasing now that's on the rack that you guys are reading?
Batman and the Flash is all I read.
All I read is
And
Batman.
is it just Batman or is it Detective? What is it? What do you?
They have
Just
they have a bunch of Bat family books, but mainly the top two is Detective Comics and Batman. But now they're giving them, they're just ruining Detective. So I was only following Batman anyways.
Right. I've been tempted to pick an issue up, but
The current the one bright spot right now, the current run of the Batman right now with Tynion, it's the best. It's since Snyder's first initial issues. I haven't seen such good Batman right now. But
I agree.
That's the only bright spot I see in DC, though.
The Flash isn't bad.
Is it a short run or is it going to be?
No. He if they don't ruin it, it'll be a long run because he said he's already was talking how he's got plans for the next couple of years all mapped out.
Yeah.
If they leave him alone, but I don't know.
Wow.
If they can afford to keep him,
Right. Because it's really good.
Probably, when you think about it, there's not much high-powered talent there anymore. The artists he has are top.
Yep.
Jorge Jimenez and people like that. But
right.
Yeah, I mean, The Flash was a good book with Joshua Williamson. He did about 105 issue run. He just ended. I'm giving the new guy a shot. I'm only 2 issues in. It's fine.
Okay.
So there's still talent there, but it's a small fraction.
It's going to go on their marquee books, the only ones that sell. And
Right.
Dan at BoomTube, who's my comic book store, he tells me every issue of Batman every 2 weeks outsells the rest of the store combined.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So they're still making money with Batman. And I think what they're trying to do is get by with everything else cheaper. I mean, they've got to get rid of Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah,
He's
for
chewing up a lot of salary there. Don't they have Mark Waid over there now too?
Yep.
Yeah, they got to get rid of those guys if they're going to survive. So,
So there's no good Superman comic on the rack right now.
no, Brian Michael Bendis
That's
destroyed
sad.
it.
I think so.
That's sad.
He ruined it. I was reading Superman, but he wrecked it.
Bendis is the type of writer, like a lot of them, who could do really good with the right character, but it's not Superman for him.
Right. So, but what would happen is if AT&T sells off Warner Media, DC goes with Warner.
Oh, okay.
So that could happen. I don't see AT&T selling Warner and keeping DC. I mean, that's
No, that will
DC has been
makes
linked
no
to Warner
sense.
for years now, so they would go together.
That would make no sense to keep the comics and sell the Warner Media. The only thing that makes sense is what you just said. It's like trying to cut costs as much as you can because you want to keep the one few properties to make the movies, but that's up in the air too with the movies. I don't know.
Right. It's going to be interesting to watch, and I know they're trying to get rid of DirecTV at AT&T. I'm just wondering if AT&T's taking a step back and going, maybe we should have stayed out of this whole media thing. They're a telecom company that bit off more than they can chew.
Yeah.
And then there's Disney, who's taking a hatchet to their upper management now too. So I guess they got rid of a lot of senior execs at ABC.
Those are salaries, man. Those are high salaries.
Yep. So let's see. They consolidated ABC and Hulu's original content under Craig Erwich. 20th Television and Touchstone TV under Katie Burke. So they got rid of Vicky Drummer, who's been at the network 24 years in key roles across multiple departments. Currently head of current series programming at ABC. Andy Kubitz, who's been executive vice president programming strategy at ABC. William Burton, senior vice president, head of daytime sports syndicated development production for ABC. And going back to First Take, we can see why he would go away. Network's head of research, Elizabeth Sloan. Jennifer Mayo, senior vice president at ABC Entertainment, and David Marco, ABC head of movies and miniseries.
Easy.
Dan Kupetz, who joined 20th TV as executive vice president and head of business affairs and operations, is leaving on his own, apparently. So, there's more. Additionally, leaving our 20th Century TV, Jennifer Gwartz, executive vice president of comedy and drama development, whose position went to Carolyn Cassidy in the recent restructuring, and head of comedy, Cheryl Dolans. So they trimmed, these are all big salaries. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. 9 people. 9.
It's crazy.
9, they're probably 7, 8-figure salaries too. Some of these people. So I'm not surprised. I mean, when do you watch ABC?
Never.
Right. The day before never and the day after never.
I have cable and I don't really watch ABC, so.
Right. And then there's the whole idea that now that, Disney owns Hulu and they're jacking up all the rates on Hulu, and then they took away the Discovery networks from Hulu, and then they have Disney Plus, and now they're talking about having a Disney 18 Plus. Have you heard that?
No.
Yeah.
That's
so
where you get all your
the Fox content, your edgy stuff for adults. So it would make more sense to most of us anyway that Hulu's going bye-bye.
Yeah, I actually had heard that they're gonna merge Hulu and Disney Plus.
I think Hulu will become Disney 18 Plus.
Right. The original premise was that Hulu would keep the edgy programming while Disney Plus would not. So that they're just going to change it to Disney 18 Plus then.
Right.
Well, Hulu does sports too, right?
Yeah.
They do.
Some sports.
They do sports and
they have hockey and
Right.
So I don't know. But then you still have the Discovery Plus, so now you have 3 subscription models. And if you go to Hulu right now, they're offering these bundles like get Disney Plus, ESPN, and Hulu all for one price, that kind of thing. So it would just make more sense if they just rebrand the whole thing as one. I don't know. I don't know.
I only have Hulu, so my kids.
They don't pay me to think about these things.
Rick and Morty. That's it. That's the only reason I have Hulu, so my kids.
You got to watch Solar Opposites.
Solar Opposites?
Yeah, if you're watching Rick and Morty, watch Solar Opposites.
I don't watch that. My 18-year-old watches that.
Oh, okay. Well, watch Solar Opposites anyway. It's really funny.
I do not like Rick and Morty. It's not.
Oh, in that case, you're not going to like Solar Opposites.
Not for me.
Tell your 18-year-old to watch Solar Opposites.
Okay.
And you wouldn't like Lower Decks either.
Probably not. I did watch a couple episodes of Mike Tyson's Mysteries last
I
week.
gotta watch that. I have to watch.
It's hilarious, man.
Are mysteries real?
So funny. Like we watched the episode, the Neil deGrasse Tyson episode. Then I started from the beginning and watched the first few episodes. It's
how great is that? That Neil deGrasse Tyson is so funny.
Hilarious.
It is.
God. Mike, he's got a great sense of humor. He's hilarious.
I'm digging that fedora.
Yeah.
The ash.
That's the Indiana Jones fedora right there.
Then you should get the mustard orange.
Patagonia.
Yeah, to go with it.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
this is because you asked just last week, Jude, when it was coming out, and it looks like they're going to target March.
Wow.
So then you know when to sign up for your free 1-month trial of HBOMax.
You know,
HBO is
my
really
house,
milking
I got
it,
it.
huh?
You guys can come to my house and watch it.
Ooh, party at Stacey's. Awesome. Yeah. So it's going to be 4 1-hour episodes.
I still think we need to rent the movie theater and show it there.
We could. Hello.
That'd be
You
great.
can't show it in the movie theater if it's 4 1-hour episodes.
Oh, that's true.
How are we going to do that?
It's not on Blu-ray, so
Right.
we have a problem.
Someday.
It will be eventually. I think the plan is they're going to do the 4 1-hour episodes. Then he's going to release a Blu-ray edition with the whole thing.
A director's cut. Director's cut.
The director's yes.
The director of the director of the director's cut.
Direct the Snyder cut.
Direct to you
The final
from the
cut.
director.
The cut I really intended to use the cut before the other cut.
Right.
This is the right cut.
Right. All right. It's time to go to school. Let's go to school. So
You like school this summertime? School.
Oh yeah, educate me. I need to.
So,
okay.
I saw this and went, just stop with this bullshitting people. Wonder Woman debuting in 4K, like that's going to help, right? And most people go, ooh. But
4K with like a 3-bit rate.
thank you. Thank you. When you're signing up for this 4K streaming, you're getting hosed, people.
Yeah.
It might be a 4K raster, meaning it's it's Ultra HD, 3840 by 2160 frame size, but it sure ain't 4K.
No.
And it sure ain't HDR. I mean, they're saying it's going to be HDR10, Dolby Vision, all this stuff. Not at the bit rate they're going to have to stream it at. It's going to be too lossy. I mean, it'll look good, but it won't look like a 4K Blu-ray. And here's why.
But do you have,
physical. What's
you have
that?
to have a certain TV for it to look a certain way, don't you?
You need a 4K TV with HDR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want it in 4K, you need exactly what Keith's going to show us. You need a 4K TV with the what is it called? 4K Blu-ray.
HDR, high dynamic range.
Right.
Okay.
And
Is it that big of a difference?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. HDR is amazing.
In fact, what I do is I buy even though I don't have a 4K player or 4K TV, I actually buy the double sets where you get the Blu-ray in the 4K because I know in the future I'm gonna watch it in
My
4K.
Blu-ray player is a 4K Blu-ray player. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Ooh my. Fancy pants.
But I don't have a good TV for it, so I got to get a better TV.
Down the road. I mean, they're so cheap now. You get a good 4K TV for like a couple $100.
Yeah, they'll get cheaper. All this stuff comes down eventually. It becomes somewhat of a not standard, but like what they're saying is that's going to be a standard, which is not a standard because it's watered down 4K.
I'm getting a slight echo here.
I heard it too.
Yeah.
So this has, the question. Geez, I hear that echo still. Hang on.
I don't hear anything.
I love how it just crops up out of nowhere.
It sounds perfect to me.
Okay, so I just have to keep going in and like turning my mic setting off and turning it back on. And it clears it up. Don't ask me why.
I can't stop playing with this thing.
So
that's what he said.
Does it probe you while you sleep, Jude?
I can't. You want to hear how sad I am? I can't wait till it snows so I can actually bring this outside and take a picture.
It is very sad, Jude.
Jude and his probulator.
I will like it on YouTube.
Look, it's articulated claws.
Yeah, but is it Cara Dune?
I know.
Hail Gina Carano.
Keith's going to turn into a Minton card collector now. People who keep everything in the box and sealed.
Yeah, I got my Kirk and Spock up on the wall in the box on the card. So anyway, what's the difference between watching in 4K Blu-ray versus streaming? So, those of us who like physical media and get called boomers and outdated and, no, get with the times, man. What do you want to have that on? It's all on the shelf. I just click the streaming. Well, you can easily watch 4K movies on Netflix, so why bother releasing your film or watching movies on a Blu-ray disc, right? Why do people still buy them? Well, buying a movie in Blu-ray disc in the Netflix era is not the lamest idea. In fact, it is a must if you really value the movie experience.
That's right.
There's some very legitimate reasons why Blu-ray beats streaming. Better quality, just for starters.
Oh, wow.
You lose a lot of color depth. You lose a lot of the softening. You get banding. Like I remember I mentioned the movie The Lighthouse.
Yep.
And when these practicals, these candles and lanterns were falling off, you were getting this banding on streaming. It was just awful. It's like,
And I think what people don't understand is you're getting veritable frame rate, meaning that when you watch something on Netflix, it may say something like 30 frames per second, but it's actually throttling between 27, 28. And you can actually go into the information setting and see it throttling.
It'll throttle your data too.
Right. So you're actually watching frames off, which to your eye, subconsciously you notice there's something off.
Yeah.
So it ruins them.
But if you're looking at your phone the whole time, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
Right.
This reminded me of you, Jude. Yeah, exactly, Stacey. When you're watching movies on a friggin' phone.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying when you're watching a movie and you're looking at your phone.
No, that's what I'm saying. When you're watching a movie on a phone, which is not the way to watch a movie on a tablet or a phone.
No,
Sorry.
I'm saying while your TV's playing a movie and you're playing, you're on Facebook or Twitter,
checking your textbook.
Snapchat,
Who's on first?
You won't notice that.
Who's on first?
Anyways.
Yes, I know.
Let's just say if there's a phone involved in the movie watching experience, you fail.
Yes, agreed. Agreed 100%. We're all on the same page.
You have
now.
failed this movie.
Yes.
I do prop this up on my windowsill when I'm doing dishes and I watch YouTube videos, but I will never watch a movie on it.
No. So this reminded me of what you always say, Jude. When you watch a movie in Blu-ray, the viewing experience is just way better. You can't explain why, but the film feels more alive.
Dude!
So Blu-ray discs outperform streaming 3 to 5 times. Streaming promises 4K viewing, but the maximum quality is only 25 megabits per second, while Blu-ray plays at 82 to 128 megabits per second.
Right.
There's a huge data drop-off.
Okay, so streaming. Okay.
And so the first, people will be like, yeah, what's that mean? Well, the first thing you get rid of when you have to compress it down to fit here is color space. So the first thing you throw away is color information. The first thing that goes. The ones who are technically savvy can tell straight away the difference in the quality of the image, while those who are not so techy may not be able to tell the difference in the image, but they can feel the difference. Everything is more cinematic. So if you care about quality and movie experience, there's no doubt you should watch films on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
This is a really good one too. They're more eco-friendly. That's right. Plastic. The plastic and packaging that comes with manufacturing a Blu-ray disc and Blu-ray cases makes it seem worse for the environment, but the streaming services may be polluting in other ways. In fact, streaming may be worse. So all you SJW Green Planet people, listen up.
Hey.
Physical media uses materials and anything that manufactured and printed from Blu-ray duplicate may seem harmful to the environment. However, BBC just busted that their piece on streaming can be more harmful to the planet. Here's what they had to say. Even though the new formats are material-free, that doesn't mean they don't have environmental impact. The electronic files we download are stored on active cooled servers. The information is then retrieved and transmitted across the network to a router, which is transferred by Wi-Fi to our electronic devices. This happens every time we stream a track, which costs energy.
Interesting.
Hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
Once a custom vinyl record is pressed or a CD is purchased, it can be played over and over again. The only carbon cost coming from running the record player or, disc player. However, if we listen to our streamed music using a hi-fi sound system, it's estimated to use 107 kilowatt hours of electricity a year, costing about £15 to run. This is British. A CD player uses 34.7 kilowatt hours a year and costs £5 to run.
Okay.
If you stream the same music more than 27 times, the energy used is equivalent to buying the CD. The same applies to movies. If you have a favorite film or TV show that you want to watch again and again, buying it on a Blu-ray disc is a more eco-friendly option.
That's cool.
And think about
then you get this kind of stuff. You don't get this stuff on the streaming.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You want the exclusive stuff, right? This is another reason why Blu-ray rocks. We can get tons of bonus features and freebies from the filmmakers, like behind-the-scenes videos, interviews, thank you messages, and a lot more. This separates regular fans from super fans.
And when you buy a physical copy of something, it's yours to have. Meaning, you don't. One day when you go on Netflix, and you're like, "Oh, I want to watch that again." It's suddenly not there anymore.
Right.
Or they change it, or they
change it
cut
and
things.
They edit it.
Right. And I remember about it must have been longer than that. During one of our bad storms, I didn't have electricity for a week. I was watching all my Blu-rays through my laptop. So,
yep.
And I literally, I had a generator, but I just charged up my laptop and kept plopping.
My laptop does not have a disc.
You can get
that's an old laptop.
You can get. I had an external. I
do too.
I have a Blu-ray.
My old MacBook did. My newer MacBook did.
Yeah, but I got a USB one for like $20 at Best Buy.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what I got.
Good to know. Okay.
Yep. Get the USB one.
You'll be supporting the filmmakers. Filmmakers need more money to make more films. If you want to support them, go buy their Blu-rays. They get more buck from it than they get from streaming, especially indie filmmakers.
It's like going seeing a band live, man.
Yep. So, and then, custom covers. Yeah, la, la, la. I mean, I do like having, on a bookshelf, it looks like books. I mean, you get the nice.
You've converted me back. You brought me back to it, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a convert.
Yep. So if you are a cinephile or just a regular dude or dudette who wants maximum viewing experience in their home theater, if you want your shelf to reflect your fine taste in movies, if you are a sucker for special editions and you can tell HD from UHD and it matters to you, and you have money to spare, buying a movie in Blu-ray is definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And if you're a filmmaker wondering if it's worth releasing in Blu-ray, do not worry. You can order as few as 30 discs and just reorder when you have to. We can make the Blu-ray, and you can truly be proud of. Also, the guy said, "This guy pimps his business at the end."
Hey, whatever.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with pimping. Be sure to watch GeekTime Network. Next week we've got Jay from ILM.
You are a shill.
Hey, that's right.
Next week we have Jay from ILM. So, and this is, people who listen to our podcast, Pizza and Pop Culture, who are familiar with Angelo from that show, know that he's a big physical media guy. He's been preaching this for years. He follows a site called Digital Bits, which I highly recommend. Bill Hunt. In fact, we'll just hop on over there.
We'll just pimp that right now.
We'll pimp Bill. I'd like to get Bill as a guest. He's a really fascinating guy.
Mr. Bill.
Yeah. So the Digital Bits, if you want to keep up on your Blu-ray news, and he does a lot of technical things, it's well worth the follow. So, in fact, I haven't been on this site in about a week, and I see that I have some catching up to do. So, yeah, definitely worth it.
Cool.
Yeah. So, how are you enjoying your Blu-ray player, Stacy?
It's good. It's good. Yeah. Well, the first one I watched, Wonder Woman.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I did tell you about Blu-ray.com, right? Where there's always deals on there. And
I thought it's funny because I thought I went on the Barnes and Noble and I thought I ordered some, but I guess I just put them in my cart and never paid for them.
For checkout. Well, I think their 50% off Criterion sale ended.
Yeah, I think so.
But Amazon is still doing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, if you go, let me look up a Criterion title.
I did my favorite old movie. Like my favorite old movie is Sunset Boulevard.
Oh yeah.
Movie.
So yeah, this is still.
Were you
41% off?
Stacy, were you in my class when we watched that?
I think so. I think that's
you were in my class.
I know. I love that movie. I love it because of watching it. It's there's so many cultural references from then to now, referencing this movie. It's just so important.
What class was that? Was that Dan's class?
I don't even remember. But
we watched the.
Yes.
Stacy and I watched this. I forgot who.
I just watched it 2 months ago.
It's a great movie.
Yeah. There's a Twilight Zone episode called The 16mm Shrine that was basically the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the movie's timeless. I mean, if you watch it now,
it's an actress who's aging and won't accept it, and she creates this. She's a shut-in, and she creates this whole world this fantasy world for herself, and she falls in love with the younger guy. And I mean,
same
traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I gotta get that. Oh, $10. Is that the Blu-ray?
Blu-ray.com.
Oh crap! All right.
$10, $8.75.
So you just come on here, Stacy, a lot, and just either type in the movie you want, or just go here, see all the deals, and
Yeah,
then you can sort like lowest prices. You know,
Oh,
and then you can come in here and
Oh,
get like
Jaws,
True Grit for
I can
$5.
get Jaws for $5.
$5.
I
Jurassic
have it on Prime.
$5.
Wow.
You can even get Tom Cruise's The Mummy for $5.
Maybe not.
Tom
Or not.
No.
$5 is too much.
Written by it's $4.99 too much. Written by the ever talented Star Trek Discovery showrunner Alex Kurtzman.
He did?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He wrote that?
Wrote-
Oh, no
directed,
wonder-
I
no
think.
wonder
Didn't
I
he
never
direct
liked
it
it.
He did.
Yeah, he directed it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
I
love
read
this.
about this. Poor
This just
poor Shuri. You know what the thing is? I'll wait. I'll wait until you
go ahead.
I just feel like some people are putting stuff out there, and they're like, "Well, I just like to, see both sides." Like, just don't say anything. Why?
She actually.
Why? She doesn't seem like she had an opinion, like a real opinion. She was just like kind of putting stuff out there, like, "Oh, there's this side, and then there's this side," and I just, it's like, then why?
She questioned, the safety of it.
Yeah, her opinion was to question it. Like, is it right for
Like,
you?
why? But like, why? Like.
At this point, if you're a celebrity, just don't.
That's my point. Like,
So-
especially when you're emerging a celebrity, like you're still kind of.
Well,
Again, it's
If it's
here's the funny part about this. She should be bulletproof from that. Because she is exactly what the Twitter mob loves.
They don't love anything. They
eat their own, man.
Exactly.
And they're on
eat their
standby.
own.
They're on
Exactly.
standby.
No one is immune. No one.
They have their tongues out just waiting for this morsel to
That's what
land
I'm
so they can
saying.
go.
Why share?
Eat it up.
It's not.
So-
It's not worth it.
She comes out and just says, COVID-19, should we take it? She's talking about this stuff called luciferase that's in it. It's a generic term for an oxidative enzymes that.
Oh, she just reposted She just reposted another.
Right.
video.
And then she posted a video of a doctor who's questioning it.
Right.
And immediately the people who not a month or two ago after
Oh yeah.
Chadwick Boseman passed were lobbying for her, and you're an istinophobe if you don't consider her as Black Panther. She's the one, blah blah. Well,
Yep.
They eat their
Yep.
wounded, man.
Yep.
Wow.
look at some of these things.
I would love
Science is not popular opinion.
Mirror
You
with
dumb bitch.
but
F you and your transphobic ass.
what?
Yeah, that's
Right
what they
there.
said.
This isn't talking about her.
Yes,
Yes,
this is
It's
the
directed at her.
response to her on Twitter.
We're questioning the COVID vaccine.
Yes.
Yep, that's it. They don't care. Everything goes back to that.
Data Racer once again to the rescue, where he compiles all these things.
Is someone
Marvel's Letitia Wright has left. She left social media. She's lasted 1 day after this.
God.
She was bullied and harassed by the cancel mob. SJWs are telling Marvel to fire her for being an anti-vaxxing transphobic bitch. Cancel culture is abusing a religious Black woman because she was concerned about a vaccine.
These people aren't real. I'm telling you, they're not real.
A lot of them, some of them are blue check marks. In fact, one of them, let me stop sharing here for a second. One of them is
I know Don Cheadle. I read
Don
him.
Cheadle.
Yep.
But it wasn't
kidding.
Yeah.
Bye, Letitia.
Didn't take long to turn on her.
He turned right on her. After she said exactly what Twitter is. If you don't conform to popular opinions but ask questions and think for yourself, you get canceled. And she laughs and he goes, "Bye, Letitia."
It
What
was
does that have to do
perfect.
with transphobia? I don't understand what that came into.
They twist everything to do with it.
Because that's what they do. Stacy, if that's the whole, there's a term out there called the fandom menace, and it started back in 2016 with the Ghostbusters, the all-girl Ghostbusters. And it comes from the fact that if you're a fan of these intellectual properties and you criticize them, you're not criticizing them for content. You're an ist, you're a phobe, you're a Yahtzee, that's what they do. That's what they call you. They call you names, and they call you far right. They call you all kind of Trump support. Like it just goes on and on and on.
Out of control.
It's out of control, and it's gotten worse. And it's at the point where, this is what happens. She was these same people were propping her up.
Yeah, these people have problems. I don't know. Something's wrong.
I'm not going to mince words. Was a huge fan from Black Panther. Now I hope Marvel Studios fires and replaces you. Cancel Black Panther 2 immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Getting canceled isn't a thing. Repercussions for being a moron have always existed. It's just,
And there's no repercussions for people putting this kind of bullshit out there.
No, absolutely not.
None. Yeah,
What?
Twitter's so virtuous.
Phobe thing.
Yeah.
What is that? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still hear from so-called reasonable people that Twitter gives you good opinions on what's going on. Yep.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not on Twitter. I can't even.
I don't use Twitter.
There's a mass Twitter exodus coming at the end of the year. And Twitter's
I
gonna
mean,
find out.
Facebook is pretty toxic, but Twitter
It's easy
seems
to avoid it.
They've-
yeah, Twitter seems like
I think they've given up on Facebook and they've moved to Twitter because it's
Yeah.
easier and quicker.
It's easy to sit back and you're completely anonymous.
it just seems like these people are on standby, and then what happens is it's like they are so passive aggressive that it's just they're already they're already pissed off as it is, so they're just like, oh, I'm gonna target this person, and then just
someone needs a cookie or something. I don't know.
These people are angry. These people are rebels just to be rebels. They have no cause. They just need the voice. Asinine opinion.
It gets worse.
Oh yeah, this is a perfect one too.
This just happened today, right, Edson?
Yep. So earlier we were talking about, we have people called casting directors. They look for talent, and now Twitter wants to be these Twitter people want to be the ones to do the casting.
Yeah.
And they
go to the movie, right? And
we talked about this. Yeah, it's just
well, and what they want is they want people to portray the characters accurately. So you can't be right. So if the character's from Brazil, then the actor has to be from Brazil. If the character's from Indonesia, then the actor has to be from Indonesia.
I do it with Americans all the time. It's funny because I saw an article and I was going to share it with you and I totally forgot. It was I forgot what his name is, but he's an actor and he's going to be playing a gay character, and there was this backlash about Viggo Mortensen,
right?
And
he's a great actor.
And he's like, you don't know what I am. Who are you to even say if I'm gay or not? And there was this big backlash. It's like, so you can only play gay now if you're gay?
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're saying.
So no gay actor can play a straight actor then? Because
it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. Elliot Page will remain on the Umbrella Academy as a woman.
See, that's what I'm saying. What it's called acting, right?
Right.
So it's definitely a double standard.
You're trying to make sense in a Twitter world that makes zero sense.
Yeah,
you're trying to apply logic to crazy lunatics.
I know this sounds.
They're rotten people. They're just scumbags.
And I know this sounds weird, but I'd love to see the age demographic, like a pie of the age demographic of these people.
Yeah,
it ranges.
I know that sounds horrible because I'm probably setting or automatically in your head what the demographic is, but I'd like to confirm it.
No, you'd actually be surprised, Jude. It goes the whole range.
It is a lot of it is a lot Gen Z.
But I can't see people our age reacting like this.
No, but it's funny.
They do.
There are some our age. Yeah,
there are.
Do.
I think a lot of them are Gen Z and millennials.
Yeah, but
what they don't realize is they've been indoctrinated into a cult.
Yeah,
but
and they don't realize that they're in a cult because they think they're doing virtuous work, but they're not. They're combating racism with racism. They're combating violence with violence,
and just being hateful. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hatefulness. It's just mean anger. And
these are people who sit there and call Trump despicable for mocking a disabled person, and then tell someone to die.
Yeah.
So
they don't agree with them.
So their kerfuffle today, because every day they have to have a new one. They're freaking out about the new Ms. Marvel cast. So this girl here, Yasmin Fletcher, has been cast to play Ms. Marvel, who's Muslim, calling Yasmin Fletcher too white to play a Turkish Muslim and accusing Matt Lynch of supporting.
Nobody's gonna watch the show to begin with.
So They're Trump supporters because they cast her.
What?
No, they're accusing him of being support. I don't know where they get that from.
For what? Because
Based on
because they cast someone too white.
that's pretty racist of them.
Thank you.
And she's also not Muslim.
If you think
Like, that
QAnon
makes a
conspiracies are bad, this is terrible.
They also doxed 23-year-old Andrew Brodeur, accusing him of being a sex offender. And this is where it gets really funny. So they pile on, right?
Yep.
They got the wrong Andrew Brodeur. The guy who was a convicted sex offender is a 45-year-old guy who lives in like Wisconsin.
Right.
But why
They
should
picked up
facts
on the wrong-
stop
yeah.
them?
Yeah.
Why should facts stop these people?
Nope.
Research. What's that?
They hire a Trumpy half-white Christian person to play a non-white hijabi woman and an Indian actress to play a Pakistani woman. It's
So basically, the whole thing.
you hired a Trump supporter to play a whoops. Look at this one right here. You hired a Trump supporter to play a scientist who's in love with a Muslim. Do you see the irony, Kevin Feige? Good God.
It's acting. What are you talking about?
Well, God forbid. I mean,
Ian McKellen wasn't really a wizard.
Exactly.
we also live in a democracy where you're allowed to go on election day. You're allowed to go and place a vote for the candidate that you believe in. So just because these people voted for a candidate that these people don't believe in means that they shouldn't have jobs or homes or careers or a happy life.
I'm curious to know
fucked.
what these people do believe in. What do they believe in?
They believe in nothing, and that's why they sit on Twitter all day and do this, because they have no belief system. They have no creativity. They give nothing to society.
Not everyone should have a voice or a
They
platform.
exist to tear shit down. That's all they exist to do.
Exactly.
They're on standby and they're ready.
Get to a point where like industry does not listen to these people and they just become background noise and no one pays any attention to
You know what they need? This.
Yeah. Yep.
That's for sure.
Exactly. Hey, yep.
I think Mike Tyson should visit every one of these assholes and punch them in the face.
That would be great.
Well, did you see the Black Mirror episode about the trolls and the bees?
Yeah. No.
Yep.
Oh,
No,
watch
but
that episode, man.
I did see the one about the likes with Dallas Bryce
No,
Howard.
watch the one with the bees, the mechanical bees.
Mechanical bees, huh?
Yeah.
Yep.
As you should.
That's great.
Wow.
I will
That's
find
one.
the episode and I will send it to the group chat.
And we got cool mascots too.
You gotta watch that episode.
Well, you got Mojo.
I'll put up the graphic.
Yeah, no, I'm going to pull you up full screen, man. Wait a minute. Where are you? You're right.
Look at him. He's so cute.
Oh, your Mojo.
You got Mojo, and I got Grogu.
I love him so much. He's so cute.
You got Grogu. I got Ghidra.
Where are you? There you are. Nice.
Ah, that's not cute.
Ah.
That's Ghidorah. That's King Ghidorah. Thank you very much.
Cute. It's not cute though.
I don't care.
Cute. You think it's cute?
It's all subjective, Casey. It's cute to somebody.
I guess.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got left here? I'm starting to lose my voice. Been doing this since 4 this morning. Here we go. There's always one for Pete. Every week I have.
Oh, yeah.
You got 2 actually coming up.
Do I? While we're on the subject of toxic social media.
Oh God.
I'll be right.
This is just, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but this is kind of what I was talking about when you get the Dan Slots and you get the Mark Wades, you get the Tom Kings, you get these people that are in the industry that attack 50% of their paying customers.
Yeah, and this is not the attitude that he should be having, because the BBC is losing customers hand over fist, and the last thing you want to do is tell them to get the fuck out.
Right. So apparently, this Doctor Who power fan took this graphic, of Doctor Who Day, and removed the woke characters from it. Basically anything Chris Chinballs had to do with it, and reposted it. And so then the writer told him to get the fuck out.
Well, best part about the new stuff is that I don't have to watch it, and I don't. And
So you did
I
get the
have
fuck out.
I have the physical media of everything prior to it.
Right. So you took this guy's advice and you got the fuck out. As apparently half of the BBC subscribers have also done.
BBC America, I think the season finale had only said something like 200,000 people watching it.
Yeah.
In America.
Oh, they're
in North America, there was only 200,000 people
That's
watching.
horrible.
I think they're in full panic mode at the BBC, and instead of trying to fix it, they keep doubling down. It's almost like
Jodie
Chris
Whittaker.
Chibnall. It's like Chibnall and the guys who work for him are just like, oh, you don't like that? We're going to give you 2 more of that.
The rumor is that Jodie Whittaker's manager or
Told her to quit.
Her agent is saying you got to leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just like the best advice she could have, because she is the face of Doctor Who, and people hate Doctor Who right now, and so she's always going to have that stigma of being that doctor.
Yeah.
The doctor took the whole franchise down.
Exactly.
When sadly she can only read what they hand her. It has nothing to do with her at all.
And the problem is, I saw her. She's in one episode of Black Mirror, and she has got a range.
Really?
She can really act. And unfortunately, she's a plank of wood. She's doing a bad imitation of David Tennant, and she has like 2 emotions, and she needs to get out, because
So she's not Brie Larson, is what you're saying.
Yeah, she has 2 emotions. But yeah, she needs to get out, because if she was given better material, I say stay as long as you want. But she is becoming the face of this franchise that everybody hates. She's kind of basically being what Daisy Ridley is to Star Wars.
There you go. That's a better analogy.
That's the problem. They want her to be a female version of Tennant because he was so popular, but it's not a new character. You're just trying to remake a character into something.
She's not allowed to do her thing.
Right.
Be this guy. But yeah, she's basically the face of she's Daisy Ridley.
That's a really good
and her career is going to suffer because of it.
Well, maybe somebody will get the hint when they're down to maybe when they lose 2/3 of their subscribers at the BBC, they'll go, oh shit. Look at these ads. They won't go away. Go away. What the hell? Oh my God.
They're finally moving in on Kenobi, huh?
Yeah, they're going to shoot it in Boston.
Okay.
Interesting.
Looks just like Tatooine.
Yeah. Well, they're probably going to do the same thing they do with Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And use the gaming walls, the LEDs.
Yep.
So, it's interesting that they're using Boston though, and I guess there's also a shooting scheduled in London. So,
I think.
I mean, especially if you have Ewan McGregor, who's a UK-based actor.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they're just going to do second unit stuff in Boston, and the primary shoots are actually in London.
That sounds about right.
I mean, I'm always curious to know if it's a leasing issue where they can lease a studio cheaper.
In Boston?
I don't know.
Well, it says they're using WBZ, Boston CBS soundstage.
I mean,
Boston's Film Commission offers an aggressive tax.
That's what I was just going to say. Connecticut does too.
Not anymore.
Oh,
that
really?
was a long time ago.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's been gone for 5-6 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's why all the movies went away.
I remember it was like every single year there was a movie shot here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Here in Bridgeport, there was Indiana Jones, and then
that's why, because a lot of the small business owners complained it was too disruptive. So
the whole beginning of Crystal Skull was shot in New Haven, Connecticut.
Yep, not the whole thing, but
the first 15,
the first part.
Yeah.
War of the Worlds. Spielberg was here a lot back then because his kids were in school here.
Yale, yeah.
Yeah.
Amistad stuff shot at the Mystic Aquarium. I mean, the Seaport.
So,
Spielberg.
So they hired a new writer too, Joby Harold.
I don't know anything about this guy.
They brought this person in April because Kathleen Kennedy didn't like the scripts that Hussein Amini had written.
That sounds like that sounds like an SJW name there.
I don't know. Allegedly, Kennedy was concerned that having the lead character serve as a mentor to young Luke and Leia skewed too close to Mandalorian the child.
Oh, okay. If that's legit, I can see that being a concern.
So this guy was the writer of a movie called Awake. Did you guys ever see that?
No.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
No.
Nope.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah, that's this guy, right? Joe B. Harold.
Yeah. And then Untitled Bumblebee. So he did the Bumblebee movie. He wrote it.
Right.
I didn't see the Bumblebee movie.
No, Bumblebee was actually pretty good.
Bumblebee was okay for 2 acts. The third act's a mess.
Yeah.
So there's some hope.
This guy wrote Drive, which is, a much more compelling narrative than these.
Yeah.
But Deborah Chow is going to direct. She did some of the Mandalorians. She's got geek cred. They said geek cred. She's done American Gods, Better Call Saul, Lost in Space, Jessica Jones, Mr. Robot. So she did a nice job on Mandalorian. I think all the directors on Mandalorian do a nice job.
Yeah.
So,
I just think, with the Mandalorian, you're not. I mean, I don't want spoilers for. Well, I'm not going to spoil anything. But anyway, because I know Stacey's still watching it. But I like the fact that they did sort of take something from the Star Wars universe, but they made the Mandalorian his own character. This is one. And again, I hate when they keep playing off these freaking characters. I like original characters. Come up with something new.
yeah,
That's why
I mean,
I love Mandalorian so much. He's a new character. He's fresh.
Yeah.
and you know what this means, Jude? It means more Tatooine, more Sand People, more Jawas.
Get the hell off that freaking planet.
I know. More Mos Eisley, just the whole thing.
I think in Star Wars, in one of the deleted scenes, they kept on saying, "What the hell does the Empire want to do with Tatooine? It's a wasteland." They never ever felt.
Well, they started. I mean, they tee it up in the very first movie. Luke says, "If there's a bright center of the universe, we're on the planet that's farthest from."
Tatooine becomes.
And then from that point forward, they decide to base the whole damn saga on that one planet. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I like Ewan McGregor, but it's going to be full of member berries again, I think, because they for a saga or a franchise that can be limitless and span this vast galaxy, they keep it very small. They contain it.
Well, it's a space.
Well, they're trying to cash in on what people like, and people like, hey, remember Obi-Wan, remember Sand People, remember Jawas, remember Luke Skywalker. So they've learned the hard way that the new stuff nobody cares about.
Yeah. No,
I
it's true. We talked about that last week. The peg warmers.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that it's leaving a lot of stuff into interpretation, meaning that we don't know at this point if the Mandalorian is linked to the trilogy.
Right.
Hey, remember Obi-Wan? Remember Sand People? Remember Jawa?
Why do I hear Pete?
Skywalker, so I'm not talking.
Who's watching the playback?
We're going back in time.
Not me.
Somebody's watching the stream somewhere.
Not I.
There's nobody here.
That was weird. You know who's not a peg warmer? Sheridan.
I have a crush on her. She's hot.
So do I. I tweeted out that I got this on Sunday morning. You know who the first person to like it was? Gina Carano.
Nice.
Yeah, I was all, woohoo, Gina Carano liked my tweet. So
all I got is a measly probe droid.
See, you got to buy the right ones.
Probe droid didn't like my image.
So IDW, a company
that is so symmetrical,
is barely alive. I don't
symmetry, right? And you could fold that in.
I'm glad they got Godzilla back.
This is interesting, though. I mean, I don't think this is going to save their company.
Oh goodness, no.
But I guess they're gonna do a lot of stuff with it. I mean, whoever made this deal certainly thinks this is going to be a major stepping stone in saving IDW, because they're going to have comics, graphic novels, trade collections, art books, coloring books, journals, tabletop games, puzzles. They're going all in.
Wow.
Well, okay. I mean, their run on Godzilla was kind of hit or miss.
Right.
There was their monthly series did a lot of really obnoxious pop culture references that
Right.
just didn't age well from issue to issue. But their spotlights on different monsters were really good, and they did another 25 issue limited series that was really good too. So it's been hit or miss for IDW, but I'm glad they got it back because I'm a big Godzilla dork.
Yeah, well, IDW publisher Nachi Marsham, who's like the third publisher since July.
Oof.
Wow.
Yeah, they keep firing and people keep quitting, and the IDW is a mess. Remember, Pete, Jude, you remember this too, the first stream we ever did with Pizza Pop Culture was the first night at San Diego Comic-Con, and they had replaced their publisher that day. That guy lasted 5 days. They brought in another guy. He lasted like 2 months. It's a mess. So anyway, Nachi Marsham said, we're very excited to work with Toho to build a comprehensive array of stories and products that Godzilla fans everywhere can enjoy. Now, Pete, you're located in Connecticut. That's pretty much everywhere. Do you think you can enjoy it?
I can certainly try. I will certainly try. As long as they put out good stuff and not making references to Lady Gaga.
Oh, really? They did that?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there was. Hey, I think it's that. There was some woman in the rubble, and somebody said, "Hey, that looks like Lady Gaga." I don't know. Maybe you should poke her face and find out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's low.
That was dumb.
Womp womp.
So,
yeah,
Kingdom of the Monsters. We'll see.
The Legends was really good.
I like how every artist has a different take on Godzilla. If you go through all 3 comic covers, they're all different Godzilla.
They're all different styles, and yeah.
That's why he's very flexible, and that's why he's lasted 65 years, 66 years.
As a fan, does it really irk you that these artists come up with their own interpretation, or
no, not at all?
No,
not at all. Because eventually, that thing I hate.
This is very cartoony. This is for kids.
It looks like I don't know, something.
It's like a babysitter there.
Yeah,
that might go into like.
Hate, but for any drawing that I hate, there's stuff by Bob Eggleton. If you scroll up, which looks really good. Scroll down. I'm sorry. Yeah.
That would be this one.
That one. Yeah. That one looks great.
That's the old school style.
That was really.
I think that this art here is
one
for the coloring books for kids or something.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, because look at the line art; it's very empty. Like you could see where this would be black and white, and they'd have to color them in. You know, but we'll find out if they can do it before they go out of business.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna hold my breath and wait to see. Does the company close or do they put out actual content?
Right.
What the hell is it?
This is for those of you who don't know who Alex DeCampi is. She is a phenomenal, kind of a grindhouse horror author.
Okay.
She's also a horrible. She's got to get off Twitter because she's one of these people. She's a ridiculous SJW on Twitter, but I know her personally, and she's written some really good horror comics that are beyond like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Including a series called Grindhouse she did. She had the top selling comic book in October called Dracula Mother Effer.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so billed as a grindhouse retelling of the vampire classic Draco Mofo, as Google AdSense prefers to beat out Marvel's uber-hyped Empire paperback and collections from sales beasts like Deadpool and even The Boys.
Wow.
And this is in October when The Boys season 2 was at its peak. So The Boys was selling like hotcakes, which speaks to Image's streak of not only launching some of the hottest new singles series lately, but the publisher's ability to make a book that isn't necessarily, hey, Edson and I read these guys all the time, Brubaker, Phillips, or a Donny Cates home run.
They're awesome.
Any book written by Ed Brubaker and drawn by Sean Phillips is awesome. Image has been pulling some unique promotional stunts lately. The publisher set Dracula Mofo up with an exclusive dust jacket showcasing new artwork by Yuko Shimizu, and available in limited quantity through only 6 retailers: Variant Edition, Escape Pod Comics, Distant Planet Comics and Collectibles, Bookswood Pictures, OK Comics, and Anyone Comics. So my store couldn't even get it.
Wow.
And it seems its Image's reach stretches well beyond just the direct market for this one. Dracula Mofo made waves amongst the book market buyers when it graced the cover of Publishers Weekly, and may have been a first for Publishers Weekly to run a swear word on one of their covers. Almost like when Time put the Eyebrader in there. Dracula Mofo also popped up on a number of independent bookstore radars, with Paul's plugging as one of the few graphic novels recommended in their best sci-fi fantasy horror graphic novels of 2020 list. So, Philadelphia was a good book too. So yeah, good for her. I mean, she is one hell of a horror writer, I gotta say.
Yeah,
and she's even done some good horror satire. She did a 2 of them now. Archie Comics, Archie meets the Predator.
What?
Yeah, they're great. They're great. It's you see the kids from Riverdale just getting, completely disemboweled by the Predator.
Nice.
It's awesome. It's really funny. So
yeah, she's got some. I looked up on Amazon. The ratings of the Dracula Mofo are pretty good. It's 4.2 out of 5. Pretty positive reviews.
Yeah, I mean everything I've read from her is fantastic. I just wish she would get off Twitter.
Yeah.
because
Well, she seems like a very outspoken.
She's part of the mob.
woman. Yeah, but she seems very. If she's edgy, then she's going to be edgy.
Yeah, she is.
She
She had a table across from Jackie and I about 4 years ago at a con.
I remember meeting her actually. I met her with you.
Yep.
And she's very friendly.
No, she's great.
But you can tell that she's also very edgy and speaks her mind.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. So, but that doesn't sit well with some fans. And last but not least, this is hilarious. Remember I said that DC put up a bunch of job ads replacing the people they just laid off with restructured job titles? Well, Graham Nolan stumbled on it. There's 3 open positions: marketing project development director, or management director, business development director, and editorial strategy and programming vice president. So I think some of these, remember they got rid of events and marketing, and they got rid of cross promotional, and I think they took 6 jobs that they laid people off that cost them a lot of money, and made 3 that combine that equal the 6 that they'll pay these people half or less to do. So Graham Nolan has been in the business 30 something years, and he's spent almost his whole career at DC. He loves DC. He created Bane. And he said, I spent 37 years in the business there. There he is. He doesn't like his chances if he applied, believing he'd be ousted within days. I almost feel like applying for the VP of editorial strategy, but the pay probably stinks, and they would fire me on the second day after they heard my ideas.
Yeah, probably.
The VP position requires 7 to 10 years of experience, and there is an added preference for digital media and comic editorial experience. Nolan should fill the criteria, but he would have to work with editor-in-chief Marie Javins. Unfortunately, there would be a clash of creative differences. Because Graham would want to, put it back the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
And they don't want to do that. So I just thought that was funny. Very anecdotal. And Graham does great stuff. So, yeah. That's all I got. We went through 33 headlines.
Wow.
In less than 3 hours. I'm glad. Maybe I can actually get to bed.
Yeah.
Because I got to get up again at the butt crack of dawn.
Mm.
Right now.
No bueno.
So, no bueno.
No bueno.
No.
So, let's go around the horn. Who's got what before we say goodnight?
Wow.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of my brain here. I got
I'm
nothing.
I'm so late to the game on everything. Everything I've been like looking at is like old stuff that I'm just getting caught up.
Same here. I'm just now getting into Stranger Things. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You're even further behind than me. I just like went through all of the Umbrella Academy. So but the second season just came out this past summer, so I'm not that far behind.
No, you're not.
I'm way far behind. Alfred Hitchcock's Strangers on a Train.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, God, that's one of the best.
I can't believe I
best.
can't believe I've ever saw that before.
Oh, you haven't?
No, well, not till recently. I mean, that's what I watched.
That's one
I
of the
loved
best.
it.
Yeah.
Even now, it's like it doesn't matter how old it is. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Hidden gem. It's a hidden gem.
Greats are, they're timeless.
They are timeless. I mean, great films are great films.
But sometimes you watch something that you thought was awesome. Like it wasn't that long ago that I watched The Birds. And oh my gosh, it's awful. It's so bad. Watch it again. Like, I don't know. Like something.
The Birds was never one of my favorite Hitchcock movies anyway.
It is like it doesn't make sense. It's just so weird. And I don't know. Yeah.
Rare Window is by far my favorite. So
Vertigo's a great one. I like that one a lot. But yeah.
Psycho.
Oh yeah, Psycho's
North by Northwest.
Psycho.
One of my favorite obscure Hitchcocks is Notorious.
Notorious.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Notorious is good.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with old cinema. Stacy and I went to see Citizen Kane last week in the theater.
Citizen Kane is awesome.
That's the Citizen Kane of movies.
What was not the Citizen Kane of movies was Mank. I watched Mank and I was kind of let down.
Really? Oh, that's too bad.
I get
Gary Oldman was awesome though. I thought.
Gary Oldman was phenomenal.
He's just, yeah.
I get what Fincher was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
He told it in the same style as Citizen Kane, and it's told in flashback and the whole bit.
Yeah.
I think it's just too long. It's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. It doesn't need to be. It could have been 90.
Yeah.
Because especially the first act, it's kind of like there's not enough interesting qualities to Mank himself to make you care enough.
Yeah.
Well, if you're interested in the making of Citizen Kane, there's a movie called RKO 281,
which I watched right after it.
He told me.
And I loved that when it came out, but watching it last week, it was definitely a very dated made-for-TV movie.
Interesting.
It has a lot of factual errors, especially the way they handle Mankiewicz, actually. So, but
interesting.
Yeah, but they're both fun. I mean, they were fun enough to watch. What I really wish there was more of in Mank is the making of the movie itself.
Yeah.
The spoiler alert. It's just about him writing the script.
Well, it's the perspective of what led to the story, which I think was interesting. In that
it was interesting, but it was too long. You know what I mean? There just wasn't enough meat there. It just felt like there were scenes that were it was like, can we just move this forward a little bit here? We get it. He's a fall down drunk. We get it.
Yeah.
He's a fall down drunk. Every scene he's getting drunk and falling down and making an ass of himself. And it's like, oh, I get it. And by the 30th time, okay. That's how we know he ended up in the all busted up in the hospital there. So
right.
So I mean, it wasn't horrible, but
it was cool to see him back to back, though. Having just
it was cool to see it like 2 nights back to back.
I think out of context, having not watched Citizen Kane in a while, I might have really been kind of lost in like whole story.
Right.
I think that made a difference.
Right. So.
Yeah.
All right. Jude, did you give a recommendation?
I will show you my recommendation, actually, if I can figure out how to do this.
Is it Grogu?
He's so cute.
How do I
wave goodbye?
I think you got to click it. Click it to ticket.
Is it the Pro Droid?
The holiday movie.
Oh yeah,
made us. This. I mean, I know. You guys are probably not big fans of either of these films, but
I love Elf.
I loved Elf.
You did? Okay.
I watch it every year. I already watched it this year.
this series is probably one of my favorite series on Netflix because obviously we're big movie buffs, but this goes behind the stories of how these films were made. And I swear to God, sometimes they're more interesting than the movie themselves. But these two are on the list right now. And of course, they keep going with these movies that made us, but this is the holiday movies version.
Oh, okay.
And so it's amazing. The Nightmare Before Christmas, even though I'm not a huge fan, it's amazing that this film, everybody that did all the, you can't really say puppetry, but stop motion, I guess.
Yeah, you can say puppetry.
They really made this film, and Burton really didn't. He was working on other things, like I think Batman, the second Batman movie.
Yep.
And he had
he had nothing to do with it.
He had very little involvement in this movie. In fact, he came up initially with the script when he worked at Disney, and Disney actually kind of was into it, but it was a little bit too edgy. They wanted to actually make it into more of a family friendly and kind of put color into it. And Tim Burton didn't agree with it. So he basically left, and then this is sort of started, and then he just walked away from it and let these people sort of do it themselves. He just kept showing up on set once in a while, kept an eye on him and said, yeah, I like that. And then walked and went on the Batman set. So really, he had very little, other than the idea, he had very little involvement in the
and since he came up with it while he was working at Disney, there's a clause in the contract that basically says anything you come up with while you work for us is our property.
Yeah. So it's these, and Elf's great too. Again, Elf is one of these movies where they thought it wasn't going to make it, and then it actually became one of the most watched holiday movies pretty much in the last I don't know how many years.
It's got Bob Newhart in it.
That's
Yep.
Papa Elf.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the guy from The Godfather, the one that gets killed.
James Caan.
Is it James Caan?
Yeah, James Caan.
Yeah, he plays the father.
Yep, he plays his father.
The
I
rough,
just watched Misery the other day too. That's funny.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I love hearing of the stories behind the films because then you really get to see really what everybody went through to get to where they were. I'm sorry, I'm trying to talk, but the Yoda head is just totally
Grogu.
I know. I keep
Yoda, Grogu. I'm
He's moving around.
trying to talk, and I see this thing in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, what?
So, Pete, quick back to the Tim Burton thing. Didn't he have that problem with Ed Wood?
I don't know.
Because that was Touchstone, which Disney owned at the time. And I'm pretty sure he had to fight tooth and nail to make that black and white because they didn't want it black and white.
Yeah,
same
that much I know,
thing. Yeah.
I didn't realize he worked for Disney, and then he was just too strange for them. They liked him, but they were like, "You're way out of our league. Like you're just in another world." So I think he left because they kind of just weren't really taking his ideas and really putting them into fruition.
Nice.
Right on.
And then Disney actually had the story of Nightmare Before Christmas, like Pete said. But I think they just released it, right? That he had to pay for it. It was his property still, right?
No, Disney owns that outright.
Oh wow.
He created it while working for Disney, and Disney has a clause that anything you make belongs to us.
Wow.
So they put it under a different studio then.
It was probably on Touchstone.
Probably touched on it at the time.
Yeah, one of their
Yeah, and then because he was the up and coming director, even though he had nothing to do with it, they slapped his name on it.
Of course.
They slapped his name on it, and they packaged it, and they patented it, and they slapped it on a lunchbox, and they're selling it. They're always selling it.
It's got a huge
well played.
Yeah, it does have a huge cult following.
It's got a huge cult following.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
That
wraps up this week. Let's pimp next week one more time. Next week, Jay Ignashevsky will be here with us.
Come with your questions.
Come with questions. Jay will tell you all kinds of stories about his days working with Lucasfilm at ILM, Amblin Entertainment, and Mass Illusion.
Stories you will not find anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
Do there.
Kids get in free. All right.
Dude, that Grugo. What's this? Gruger? What the hell's his name?
Grogu.
Grogu. I'm sorry. Does that one talk? Does that one actually move around?
No, that's an expensive one. I bought this.
Oh.
They had Target had a buy 2 Star Wars toys get 1 free. So I got Cara Dune.
Awesome.
The Gina Carano, and then I got Grogu. And the third one I picked because I did it online. He's being shipped because it was out of stock at the store. Is Remnant Stormtrooper from Mando.
Nice.
The beat up Stormtrooper.
The whole Mandalorian thing going on.
There you go. And then when Grief Cargo comes out in May, I'll have my Carl Weathers here. It'll be great. So if you're so inclined, you can follow us on the socials at GeekTime Net. That's the Twitter that we hate so much. The Facebook and the Insta. You can get all that stuff through the website geektimenetwork.com, which is where you can also email us if you're so inclined. So that's it for us.
Send your hate mail.
Yeah, why not?
Don't
be
no
interesting.
more hate. Be loving. It's nice. There's enough hate out there.
Wow, that's true. Open your hearts.
How do you do it? I can't.
There you
How do you do that? Is it how do you?
There you go.
Oh,
Peter Bradley, Edson Gomes, and Lady Geek Time, Stacy Wilbur. I would be your host, Grogu Senior. Who wants to say it?
See you next Tuesday.
If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, make sure you click the little bell icon to be notified anytime someone from our show drops new content here. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Say, kids, what time is that?